keep it.
Oh no.
Alright,
Oh,
let me
yeah.
look at it.
Hopefully it works out if it will or not.
I can't see it yet.
Oh, it says.
Oh no.
Alright.
Oh,
let me
it
look
did
at
it. We're live. Aha! Yes. Okay. You just have to
that's
like
an
back out and
notification.
go to because it's a new podcast. So.
The end of the last podcast because we are hypocrites like Kodachi.
Yes.
So what's the whole hypocrite thing with Kodachi? I don't get it.
The fact that he's assuming he is going into the time skip. He's ending it early / just not concluding it actually.
Kodachi's not the writer anymore though. It's Kishimoto.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, too late now.
Wait, no, it's not
LOL.
too late. We could change it.
Okay, yeah, I'll just edit it. Yeah, that's fine.
I was like, Kodachi's gone.
Like Kishimoto. There we go. Boom. Okay. Done.
I like the description. The
Oh,
great,
it's-
terrible, horrible truth revealed.
Yeah.
And like, subscribe, and comment in all caps. I love it.
That is such a boy description. God, if only women could do that.
What do
You know how like
mean?
women have to
Yes.
write. They'll like,
How many subscribers do we have now, actually?
Probably like 20.
29.
Hey.
Let's look at our
oh
views.
yeah.
Look at our views on some of these.
Yeah, why not?
158, 69, 179. Our first one's still our highest. That's funny.
Oh, dang. I thought it had like 500. We only have 192. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dang.
Soon we'll hit 200.
There we go.
I think
Oh,
the Attack on Titan one had the lowest views.
Yeah, I wasn't on that one.
Oh, actually,
I know that's why.
the meme stream part 2 has the second views. Well, unless you want to count the most recent, but that doesn't really count because it's tonight. But the one where it caught out, and so the second part of the meme stream has the least views.
Yeah, I like our the TurboTax one. It's the I love that thumbnail.
That's great.
This
I
is
know.
funny.
Yes.
That is pretty creative. That's.
Oh, dude, we could have used the hiatus fate in this title.
Oh, shoot. Well, too late.
Really?
Could have also
Hiatus
done that.
fate? But we keep using it, it's always relevant. There's a new hiatus every time.
Oh man, I really want to get to the hiatus.
The
of this one,
hiatus,
too.
a hiatus of the Minato manga. Hiatus fate.
And with the announcement of the 3-month manga hiatus, which I did ask Sauron, he never answered that. I'm guessing there just isn't an official answer at all. Like, have they even officially
No,
announced it's on hiatus, the manga?
Yeah, in the end of the chapter,
Yeah,
it
it's at the end of the
says.
chapter.
Oh, well. Okay.
That's why I asked when it was gonna resume, because it said in September, but all the sources were saying August, and I was confused. But he said apparently the September issue is the August chapter, which I don't know what he's talking about. If he means the volume or what, but because let me pull it up. I think it just says it'll resume in September. Let me see.
Well,
That's what I thought.
What were we
They said
talking
it's-
about originally, though?
I don't know.
okay.
Oh, you had
I
a
don't
question,
remember.
and you said Oodie didn't answer the question. Oh, what
Oh,
was
right.
well,
Oh, this is Oh, wait a minute. That's so
What?
weird.
What?
So
oh,
when I read, that is so creepy.
Is it
Hold
not
on.
there?
Oh,
yeah,
I
it says
have to
August.
Dude,
I thought it said
100%
September.
that said September. That 100% said September when I read it the first time.
Ooh.
Same. I wonder if that. Do you have automatic updates?
I don't know. I just
Like,
pulled up Viz on the internet. Like, I don't have the app or anything.
Oh, because I have the Shonen Jump app, and
don't
it
have
said
that.
when I read it, it said September, but I'm looking at it now and it says August.
Aha.
Yeah,
wonder if it
like I just
Updated.
looked it up on my phone. I That's so weird. I wish I took a screenshot of it because that was the whole reason I was confused. It said next chapter would be in September, so they just changed their mind. Like, oh, whoops, my bad. It's August.
Rest in peace to all those.
That's how much detail they really have. And freaking, how do they miss this shit? Honestly, this is a side note, but like, how do they honestly like look at Kishimoto not color Kawaki's eye black and just say, "Oh yeah, that looks good"? Or how do they say like the wrong freaking month? Like, how do they miss this shit?
I think they just go. They're probably sleep deprived. They're probably
I don't know,
starving.
dude. Like, if the freaking fans can notice it, like immediately, they don't have to like reread the chapter 5 times. It's just like they just notice it first thing. It's like, okay, looks pretty obvious to me. It's like they're not even proofreading it. Oh, Ikimoto, you finished? Okay, let's move on. They double check his work.
You know, like everybody was mad about the Jujutsu Kaisen chapter. Do you read it? Do either of you read the manga?
And I've watched like the first 8 episodes. That's it.
Yeah, I saw season 1 when it came out.
Well, one of the characters, you know, he just comes back, and they're like, "Hey, do you think you can win?" And he's like, "Yeah," or something like that. And people were like, "That's not what the original scans say," and so they had to go back and change it. Shonen Jump. Cool.
Dude, it's like, my favorite is the Kurama. because you'll die. Do this and it's over. And then he says, "Just so you know, I never once lied to you. At no time did I say you would die." Like, and then like, it was so funny when I made that video, my Baryon mode video. And I was dying laughing, but I was like, "Yes, you did. I have it on screen." and then somebody who had the volume release, well, we were talking about it in the comments. We're like, maybe it was just I was like, it's got to be a mistranslation. I was like, dude, it has to be. And then I found out later on in the volume release, they just changed it so that Kurama says because it means death. I was like, yeah, I knew they mistranslated it.
Oh my god.
But like,
I'm like, and then the anime did the same thing. I'm like, how did the anime not see how that made no sense and say, maybe we should change this?
I wonder if it's just like a completely
We just
different
rolled
thing.
with it. I was like, dude, how stupid.
Because I heard that the translation team, they don't get paid very much, and translating work is very hard on top of it, and they're expected to pump out stuff like very quickly, and so things.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get how like the original manga translation could have just went with it because they might not have known what was gonna come. Like, in what that Kurama would say, "Just so you know, I never once lied." Like, I can see how, like, they would do it. But when it comes to the anime, I'm like, look, I don't even speak Japanese, but I knew that they should probably change the wording so that when Kurama says, "Just so you know, I never lied," it makes sense. I don't need to know any Japanese to change that.
Ooh. Man,
Like,
just throw a couple fans in there. Throw a couple fans, pay them just a little bit of money.
Literally, all you need, honestly, they need a fan being an editor for the Boruto manga and saying, "Look, dude, don't put the time skip here."
See, and I don't notice those type of things, so because I'm just like, but when somebody else notices it, I'm like, "Oh, okay, how did I miss that?" But I'm just like oblivious to my surroundings, so you know, it happens.
I don't think I really pay attention to the United States anyways. We have very drastically different opinions from the Japanese.
What do you mean?
Yeah, that's true for a lot of things. Like, the Western fans complain about a lot of shit, but the Japanese fans love it. Like, for the slice of life Boruto anime is a hit in Japan. A lot of Western fans constantly would shit on it.
No.
And I'm like,
Really?
that's probably true. Like, with a lot of the stuff they do, I'm like, honestly, the Japanese fans probably love it. That's why they keep doing it. Like,
Yeah, because you know, manga and anime is just for the their main focus is a Japanese.
like that's their main exactly. I'm like, dude, their main priority is their freaking home country. Like,
Not
Yeah,
only
I mean,
their
most of
home
their
country, It's their actual fans. If the United States just isn't a fan, why would they try and cater to the United States when we aren't even watching it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a very
like-
niche community.
Japan's the one watching the slice of life, so I'll just keep giving the fans what they
Yeah,
want.
so I'm like, dude, like,
I do like
their
some of the
focus
slice
is
of life.
Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, I always like the filler arcs, like the Bound arc and Bleach. That's my
Peak!
favorite.
It's the best arc in Bleach. I don't care what anyone says.
I don't really care. So, like I said, like I don't care if it's manga canon. I just care if it's good. I'm like I said, like when it comes to the car actuation arc, yes, I mostly just care about the Deepa scenes, but it's because the Deepa scenes were good. Like
Yeah, they were really
Like-
good.
he's not in the manga. He's still one of my favorite Boruto characters. He was good. Yeah, I like everything about him. I'm like, if it's good, it doesn't really matter if it's in the manga or not. It just needs to be good. That's all that I'm looking for. And even then, like, I'm still gonna watch it. I'm still gonna be entertained by it because I like Naruto so much that if it's into the Naruto universe, I'm probably gonna like it. Like, there's nothing you can do about it, no matter how disappointed I am in something. But like, I don't really care what's going on. Kakashi Sensei's true face, dude. 100% the greatest filler of all time. It should be
Oh, yeah.
canon. That's how great it is. I'm
It
like,
should be
I don't care, dude. This shit was hilarious.
peak fiction.
Yeah, literally, it is peak fiction, dude. It's so good. Mecha Naruto, dude.
Yeah.
Also peak fiction.
Actually, one of the best episodes. Like, actually, unironically.
That's what, dude. I love those. There's some random shit, dude. It's hilarious and it's awesome.
Not even
There's
just from,
no
like, a
reason to
comedic
complain about it.
standpoint. I actually like cried during that arc. It's actually very good.
I mostly loved it for the comedy, but
Yeah, you know, that's besides the point.
Like I was telling Oodie what we were talking about the other day. Like, I love trash. I love reading trash.
Yeah.
I love watching trash. So like, even if the filler,
Well, but this
it's
isn't
kind of
trash.
trashy.
It's not
The
trash.
animation, if the animation's bad, the dialogue is bad. I don't care. I'm still gonna watch it.
Well, it's
I
like
just
we
love
were,
laughing about it.
it's like we were talking about the podcast after Sauron, which is ironic considering this was a podcast with Sauron, but the first podcast with Sauron, where he said something about like Boruto got worse over time, or he said the quality of the anime dropped, and then afterwards, the next pod, me and like all three of us were like, wait, well, what did he mean? No, it didn't. So
yeah, I
it didn't get
don't
bad.
agree.
Yeah.
I don't think the quality ever like it just has ups and downs where some episodes are better than others. Like I sit here and say it's exactly
Well, you know
100%
who-
same every single scene, but it's like generally speaking, I never noticed a drop. I just noticed episode changes. The only time it's like drastically different is Kawaki versus Garo, and then the Code arc where like you can
Oh,
notice
God.
clear differences in character
Yeah.
designs and art styles. Like, but that's also wasn't a quality drop. It's better for the most part, I would say.
Yeah, I mean,
But some things maybe not.
every arc has good and bad episodes and like the best and worst episodes. Even like what everyone praises, the Kara arc, the canon arc. Oh, God forbid you stray at all from the manga. God forbid 3 lines be separate in the background of the grass from the manga. Ugh. But
Oh, you should hear
everyone-
Bleach fans.
Oh my
They're the
gosh.
worst.
But everyone hated
We're the worst.
the Kashin Koji versus Ishiki fight because they said, oh, it's animated terribly or something. I loved it in the manga. Even though that's probably the most praised arc in all of Boruto, you have that episode that everybody hates.
yeah.
Compared to like the Funato arc, everyone hates that arc, but then it has some really great episodes that are definitively quality, like objectively better than that episode with Kashin Koji, like Boruto versus the
Yeah,
Sniper
like
Girl.
some of the choreography is like
well-
really good.
Yeah, the thing with the Kashin Koji versus Jigen fight, honestly, the main thing is one, there's the art style differences. Some people don't like Kashin Koji's anime design, but more importantly, I think it's just like if you look at the manga fights, a lot of people thought the Kashin Koji versus Jigen fight was like Ikimoto's best drawn fight. Like it just felt Naruto-y with the Kashin Koji stuff. It was drawn better. Whereas in the anime, it's like they went to town on like Naruto and Sasuke versus Jigen, blah blah blah, all these random fights, but they didn't do it with that one. So then it was just like by comparison in the anime, it's like okay, it was mid, but like in the manga, it was like his best work. I think that's the main thing there. And I think people just got mad because they loved how much better it was for Ikimoto in a manga, and then in the anime it was kind of just like the same. But Ikimoto's manga fights really aren't that good, so it felt lackluster. I think that was the point. But
Well, I had everyone saying it was way better in the manga. Even the latest, like the Code Arc, people said, "Oh, this was way better in the manga. Don't even bother watching these episodes in the anime. Just read the manga." Which, by the way, Kamui, that's
which
not
one were
true.
they referring to?
The latest arc, the
Wait,
Code
which
arc
fight?
that just ended.
Which fight though?
Like all of them, just like Code versus Boruto, Code versus Kawaki, all of it. Like literally every single fight in the Code arc. It's ridiculous.
I still haven't watched all of them.
I know you haven't,
watched...
but don't let that dissuade you. They're just wrong. Like they're on Twitter, so that tells you.
Because I was gonna say, in my opinion, at least, from what I saw, Code jumping through those claw marks was fire, and I watched the most. So I watched Kawaki beat up Code, and I watched Borushiki versus Code, or Borushiki versus Code, and Borushiki versus Kawaki. And all of those looked better in the anime because it's animated. Like, it looks better.
Yeah. So for reference, Twitter was saying that the Code jumping from tree to tree, that animation was basic and bad. So that tells you Twitter's opinion. Yeah. No, it was good. In fact, it was great.
I thought it was cool. Wow.
But there's this server that I'm in that's a Bleach server. And they were just shitting all over Boruto. Like, they were like, oh, the animation was so bad in the Code arc. And somebody's like, why are they always fighting in the same goddamn forest? And I'm like, it's the village hidden in the leaves. What do you mean?
So this is the problem with all of this. The reason that everything that we've talked about so far, the reason people don't like the Boruto filler, the reason that Americans don't like the Boruto in general, the first thing we talked about, the last thing we talked about, it's all because we don't have Boruto fans. We have manga fans. And then the manga fans watch the anime, and the anime isn't the manga. People aren't fans of Boruto, they're fans of manga. That's the problem. That's the difference.
Or they're fans of Naruto and just watching the sequel.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I would necessarily say that, because Boruto has a lot of... Again, the soundtrack in Boruto, great. The animation, there's tons of references and callbacks. So
really? You don't like the soundtrack? Any of them?
No. It's... I don't know. It's annoying.
Do you
not
like Naruto soundtrack? Again, I can understand a couple of the songs maybe you don't like, but like a lot of them are very similar to Naruto.
Yeah, and a lot of them are fire. Like, I use a few of them in my videos because they're fire.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just don't like it. It just like hurts my ears. Some of the notes are like really high. I just can't handle it.
Like, you tell me there's not a single one that you like.
No.
Crazy.
None of it takes out of my mind.
None
of it is memorable.
So wait, if you watch my videos, are you sitting there saying, that background music, I hate that song?
Kind of. You kind of disassociate. The out of body.
I definitely use some of those in my videos.
You didn't answer. Do you like Naruto soundtrack?
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't believe you anymore. I'm sorry. You've lost.
I don't know.
I can't imagine you don't like a single one. That's the thing.
Okay, maybe I can go back and listen. I'm sure they're on YouTube. And if I like one, I will put it in the server and say, look, I like this one song.
This is ridiculous. I feel like you're doing this out of spite. Or you're trolling. Or I'm so confused.
Oh, I'm trolling?
I have a few for you that I'm like, how do you not sit? I have a few that I'm like, how do you not listen to that and like think it's a banger?
For real.
No. None of it is a banger. I don't know. I just can't handle it. I don't know. I just kind of, when you just kind of block out like the background noise, it's kind of like that.
Okay, so you don't like it because you just don't listen to it. Got it. You block out the background noise, so you don't listen to it.
It's like PTSD. It's like trauma. It's a trauma like reaction. I don't know what to tell you.
But it's similar to Naruto soundtracks, and you said you like Naruto, so then it's positive. The PTSD in this instance stands for positive.
I could just like the Naruto soundtrack because it's nostalgic. I don't know.
So you like Naruto soundtrack because it's old. So give it a few years and you'll like Boruto soundtrack. Nothing else changed.
When I'm like 50, I'll be like, ah man, that Boruto track hits different now.
Hey, she admitted it. What are you gonna say? There you go.
I don't know. It's just,
Yeah, so wait, while you were watching Naruto, did you hate it? But now you're like,
well, like,
That's
okay,
all.
well,
you,
well,
She's not saying no.
okay, yes, some of the tracks in Naruto get pretty annoying. And I'm like, oh man, this track again? But then, now, what, like 15 years later, I'm like, oh man, yeah, I love that track.
Oh my
okay,
goodness.
so that's just like how you are with these things.
Yeah.
That's just your way of watching this. I like them at all times.
Yeah. Remind me to not ask you your opinion on my movie right after you watch it, but instead to wait a decade.
Wait, like
So it's
15 years.
nostalgic. Especially the soundtrack. You can't hear that.
I don't know how else to explain it. The nostalgia goggles, just real thick.
Well, to be fair, she can hear it. She'll just block out the background noise, so it's fine.
No, I really do. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's just from working in daycare that you learn to just like listen to like specific sounds. I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, she's equating your movie to daycare. All the characters talking, it's like little kids being annoying.
Oh man, I didn't realize you hated your job so much, Cam. Jeez, I didn't realize every kid was so evil in your eyes.
Look,
Oh,
I'm a battle-hardened veteran, okay?
Okay.
But look, I haven't worked with kids in a while. I've just been mainly doing secretarial work, which is nice. So that makes you feel any better. I'm not out here abusing kids and not listening to them, so.
I don't know. I'm a little concerned.
Well, I wasn't questioning it until now.
Because I don't know a single kid that doesn't like the soundtracks of Naruto Shippuden, and Boruto.
I don't know.
You'll have to
I
shut
don't like
down when they start talking about the Boruto soundtracks. When they start talking about how Momoshiki's manifestation theme is fire. You're going to have to tune them out.
Look, I don't even know what that soundtrack is.
Cam,
Yeah,
I don't
when
even
you
know
hear it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that was a banger.
In a decade.
by the next podcast, I expect a 7-hour stream of you live reacting to each and every soundtrack in all of Naruto.
That's fine. Let's go. I'm ready.
Even the
do
unreleased
it.
ones. Even the movies.
All right, let's go. I'm ready.
All right.
Oh,
Sounds
but
good.
the Will of Fire, that soundtrack is good. I didn't disassociate with that soundtrack, let me tell you.
Okay.
I know, they're just, I don't know. And I don't know, I have to rewatch things because I just like, I don't know, just kind of disassociate. So,
Oh,
you know,
that was
you
another
just miss out on things.
Right, so, by the way, going back to the debate from 2-3 hours ago, assuming Naruto and Sasuke fight Jougan in the village, they have the Will of Fire amp. There you go. They're as strong as they need to be to protect everyone. That's the Will of Fire.
Oh, stop the cap, Oodie.
The third Hokage said it himself. We've seen it be the case.
So does
Kamui just says no.
No. See, look, no.
So actually, why is that so stupid? Shikamaru's in Boruto. He didn't even think about the Will of Fire amp when Ishiki was invading. Unbelievable, dude. This dude does not deserve to be Hokage.
When all the teams, you know, they try to gang up on Ishiki, they didn't have the Will of Fire amp. They didn't believe in the Will of Fire enough.
No, honestly, like Rock Lee's Will of Fire is so weak. He didn't even enter any of the gates against Ishiki. That's how weak his Will of Fire is.
No, it's been so long they forgot about the 8 gates. So they forgot to draw it in.
Gosh. Mira was probably out of the village. That's why Shikamaru just didn't care.
Like,
You know, I just remembered. The Five Kage still has no idea about any of the shit going on.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing we need before the time skip also. As well as saying
Yeah.
how Kawaki at all fits into life in general.
Yeah.
Like, he's not Boruto. He doesn't have Boruto's mannerisms. He doesn't have Boruto's scar. He doesn't have
I'm like,
Boruto's
they
looks.
have to show this shit. And like, this
Yeah.
one isn't necessary, but I still feel like it would be cool. You know how they had the Akatsuki meeting at the end of part 1? I think the coolest way they could end part 1 is having various Otsutsuki members meet and talk about shit going on Earth or something.
They have
Like,
had,
I feel like that'd be
I
the
don't know.
coolest thing.
I don't know. There might
That'd
be
be
a
kinda
different
random.
antagonist for the time skip. So each Naruto series has had its own primary antagonist. For Naruto Part 1, it's Orochimaru. For Naruto Part 2, it's the Akatsuki. For Boruto, it's the Otsutsuki. So for Boruto Part 2, Kawaki, maybe?
Yeah.
No,
Well, then it's been code.
but like we have like
Nah, it's not gonna be code.
there's more at Suzuki though. It's heavily implied. Like there's still Shibai like as a character that should be like introduced for real. So it's like unless
Oh, okay. There's a way to get around it.
unless
For
Shibai, the
Boruto Part
godly
1, you
being,
can
is
say it's
on the
Kara.
protagonist side. Huh?
For Boruto Part 1, you could just say the main antagonist is Kara, and then Part 2, it's the Otsutsuki. Even though I don't think that really works, because I would say Momoshiki is realistically the primary antagonist.
Yeah,
of all of
Momoshiki
Boruto
and
Part 1.
Ishiki.
Well,
and
Ishiki's
Code. I
in
mean,
the Kara arc only. Ishiki was more of like a
Yeah.
specific arc villain.
yeah, but
That's why I
like
think the Otsutsuki.
even still though, Suzuki's related. I mean, the problem is it's like the main antagonist. I don't know, honestly. Like, I mean, Otsutsuki's gonna be in part 2 anyway. Like, so the weird thing is, it's like you can draw comparisons to the Akatsuki, to Code, but you can also to the Otsutsuki in general.
Well, I
You
shouldn't
can
say
draw
main antagonist. I should
compares-
say main villain, because antagonist could be different. Because you could consider Sasuke the main antagonist of Shippuden.
Yeah.
etc. So.
I mean, yeah, but like villain wise, I mean, honestly though, I don't know who to compare Momoshiki to most. Like, should we compare him to Orochimaru or to Kurama? Because Kurama didn't make as much of a move to take over Naruto in part 1.
I would say he's
So
like,
it's
Yeah,
kind of like
taking
more like
his time.
Orochimaru.
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I think Momoshiki's like just too petty to be compared to either. He's like in a league of his own.
Yeah.
This is also why I think it has to be Momoshiki or just the Otsutsuki in general instead of Kara as the main antagonist for Boruto Part 1 is because Momoshiki is the first and final villain and he had to be narratively because of the overarching theme.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
but
like, I
like, there's
just
still
don't
more
see-
Otsutsuki in part 2. So it's
Oh.
like,
Mm.
That's another thing. Momoshiki will not befriend Boruto before the time skip. Absolutely 100%
Yeah.
confirmed.
definitely not
narrative.
before the time skip.
Impossible. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, if you go French Boruto, it's going to be after the time
Yeah,
skip.
because Momoshiki is the villain right now. He's the only reason this is happening in the first place.
I'm like, will they
Yeah,
ever
he's
get
not going
along
to turn
though?
around that quickly. Like, that would be horrible.
Yeah.
I just don't see them ever getting along.
I
I don't know,
can see it.
So,
I'm not gonna lie, I
Momoshiki-
can 100% see them doing it.
so for
I
reference,
don't know.
this
He's a bitch. Like,
That's-
just don't see it.
God. This is actually very interesting. The way that protagonists and antagonists work are not main character and main villain at all. At all. This is why Kawaki is able to be the protagonist of the Code arc and Code's the antagonist of the Code arc. It has to do with
Well, kind of like
character
Aaron.
motives. Yeah, you could say that is fine. Kind of. So anyways, the best example I can think of off the top of my head, again, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Kamui, you've seen Avatar? Yeah.
I've seen like a few episodes when I was really little, and I don't remember
I
much
would-
Yeah,
else.
you have said that. Anyways,
Later, I would like to know what TV shows you have seen.
okay, hang on. So in
Um,
Avatar,
I don't know. I watch more movies than shows.
that's fair. Yeah, we should
There's
watch
lots
this
of-
at some point.
I feel like I've been watching too much YouTube lately for like the last few years. Not much shows.
Okay. Yeah.
Same,
know.
to be honest.
Um,
I spend too much time making YouTube videos for that matter. I don't even really
Yeah.
watch YouTube videos anymore.
I feel that.
As you were saying,
Yeah. So Avatar, the final fight. Aang versus Ozai. obviously, at the beginning of the fight, Aang is the protagonist and Ozai is the antagonist. Aang has to overcome Ozai in order to win, obviously. Halfway through that fight, their roles switch. So Aang becomes the antagonist and Ozai becomes the protagonist. This is because Aang's goal is to not kill the Fire Lord. Halfway through this fight, Aang goes into the Avatar state. Aang is actively trying to kill the Fire Lord. At this point, the Fire Lord is no longer trying to kill Aang. He's trying to get away. So we are rooting for Ozai at this point because we don't want Avatar state Aang to kill Ozai because we care about Aang, and Aang would not be happy if that happened. So it switches again at the very end. After technically, in this case, not necessarily Ozai's victory, but Avatar Aang's loss, or Avatar State Aang's loss, when he doesn't kill the Fire Lord. And yeah, and then it just switches after that point again to where Aang's the protagonist again. Yeah. So applying that here, you can't really apply that to Naruto Part 1, but you can apply that to Boruto. So assuming Kawaki comes, right now, Boruto's the protagonist, and Momoshiki's the villain, but Kawaki's the antagonist. So if Momoshiki takes over Boruto, and they do a final fight, in that case, Kawaki will shift to the protagonist role, and Borushiki will be the antagonist.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's very interesting because, again, we have 4 separate roles working here in a very cool, like, nice mesh of a spiderweb. We have main character, we have protagonist, we have villain, and we have antagonist. And those 4 roles, technically 4 different people at 4 different times, or 2 different, well, it depends what if the time even exists. But yeah, it's cool. There you go. Screenwriting.
That would be interesting. I didn't think about it that way. But that's not my job. That's your job. So.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't think about shows this much. I'm just like, I'm just going with the flow. I'm just out here vibing. Let's see what happens next.
The more we've done this podcast, the more I'm like, there's no fucking way they actually are just gonna do the time skip.
Yeah.
Because I'm like it would just be so awful on so many things like that.
But I wonder, why would they rush it in that case? Why have a 3-month time or hiatus now? It could just be they are. It could be they are preparing for the time skip, but they just aren't gonna do it now. They're just preparing for it now. That is a possibility.
Is it normal?
Possible, but I mean, it really could just be as simple as the Minato manga. Like that might be it. Like,
is Kodachi? Well, who is Ikimoto drawing it? I don't think he is. Is Kishimoto?
No, Kishimoto is drawing it and writing it. But he's the writer of the Boruto story.
I don't know if he is drawing it.
So where's Ikimoto at?
I think he is too, but I'm not sure.
If Ikimoto's not drawing it, what is he doing?
Fired.
Taking a break?
Well, honestly though, like I was just thinking, Kishimoto might not want to write Boruto's story while he's writing and possibly drawing the Minato manga.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Not writing Boruto, so that it might be as simple as that.
Okay. So either way, definitively, regardless of the time skip or not, we did get rushed, no matter what. This latest chapter did.
This was a rush chapter.
Yes. And I hope we don't get the time skip, even though it is possible. And arguably possible.
I'm hoping it's just a training arc, Naruto learning the Rasengan. I'm hoping it's just like that.
Yeah. Well, I just hope Kawaki finds them.
Maybe it's Kawaki learning the Rasengan.
Have them start their final fight next chapter.
Kawaki or Mitsuki, for that matter. He's got Sage Mode. You can sense him.
Well, I don't think it can be Mitsuki. Unless they want to really drag out plot point, I think 22 or 21, whichever one it is. But yeah.
Well, the thing about Mitsuki, though, is it's like they didn't conclude that.
Yeah, they can.
There's no conclusion. There's no conclusion of Mitsuki being angry until that's resolved.
So the last thing we saw with Mitsuki was him telling Sarada they'll talk later. So they could just resolve it by them talking later.
He means after he kills Boruto.
I
This is very
understand, but if
obviously
he
what he-
can't find Boruto, he can't just stay in Sage mode.
That is true, but I don't think Mitsuki is going to stop looking for Boruto. Like, he was mad at Kawaki. He had the intent to kill him.
Well, he also
I don't think
thinks
he's just gonna
Kawaki's
give up.
Boruto, and Kawaki is in the village right now, so he would return to the village.
Well, no, he thinks, like... So he was mad at Kawaki, but he's mad at Boruto now. Until he finds Boruto, I don't think Mitsuki's going to stop looking for
let me
him.
not say Boruto and Kawaki because they switch, because it could be confusing. So the person he cares about is in the village. If he stays looking out of the village, the person he cares about in the village, he's first of all not near them, which is something he wouldn't want, but then he also can't protect them. If the person he's chasing after use like Daikokuten or some other
That's
thing.
true and all, but Mitsuki's priority right now is pretty clearly to... He told Boruto to go to the hospital, and then he said, I'm going to go kill Kawaki, basically. Then role reversal happened. And it's basically, in his mind, Kawaki's going to the hospital, where he's safe, and he's going to find and kill Boruto.
I would
And so,
not
even if,
consider
let's just
Kawaki
say... But, like, let's just say, like, Mitsuki is convinced that Boruto is the good guy and Kawaki is the bad guy. At that point, she's just going to go for Kawaki again. I really don't feel like the Mitsuki situation can be resolved in a remotely satisfying way until he fights one of them. Like, he's got to fight one of them. Like, otherwise, it's not going to be satisfying. He can just talk to Sarada, and everyone will be pissed about it. And I'm going to be very, very pissed about it.
Well, hang on,
honestly, if I don't see Kawaki versus Mitsuki, I'm going to be disappointed no matter what. Boruto versus Mitsuki will be, like, if that's the best I get, it's the best I get. I will still be disappointed. I want to see him fight Kawaki. But that's just me.
So that's actually completely fine. We can get both. So again, based on screenwriting structure, the next thing we get should absolutely be Kawaki going up to Boruto and starting their final battle / low point. So they don't have to fight this arc. Assuming we don't get the time skip.
No, I agree. It doesn't have to be right now. But they should still resolve him looking for Boruto.
Yeah, so, but again, that's fine. They can resolve him looking for Boruto by him going and talking with Sarada. They don't have to resolve him fighting Boruto this arc. They could just do it at the beginning of this arc. I agree,
but they should at least show Mitsuki, like, stop looking and going back.
Yeah. So here, I'm pulling up the plot points again, the 24 plot points. So we have the ordinary world. This would just be Boruto train. So this is the hypothetical next arc of the training arc. And by the way, my prediction, assuming we don't get the time skip, is I didn't even think about him fighting Mitsuki. That could be a possibility. I think that would be more of like the finale of that training arc. I think the first person he's going to fight is
Mitsuki is actually, out of curiosity, if Mitsuki fights anyone, do you think he'll fight Boruto, fight Kawaki, or fight both?
If Mitsuki, I think he's going to fight Boruto for sure.
I really hope he fights Kawaki.
So Boruto's journey, he has to, it's a stepping stone. Like, one at a time, he has to convince either a set of people or one person at a time. So Mitsuki is like in a group by himself. Team 10, Shikanai, Chocho, Inojin, they're in a group by themselves. So I think it's going to start his first fight in this next arc, like 0.5 or so, where they would meet, would be him fighting and convincing Team 10. That's the first person he's going to convince. That's why we got that scene in Chapter 80 of why Boruto was.
Do you think this will be the last one
of this arc? Yes, I think he'll be the last of this arc. The fight. He'll be the final fight of this arc. The same way Kawaki should be the final fight of this arc. So that actually worked perfectly. In that case, Mitsuki would be the primary antagonist of the next arc. So which would resolve very nicely. We get next chapter, we get resolved of this arc with Mitsuki, of him talking to Sarada, and then next arc, we get Mitsuki going out to start looking for Boruto. And then same with Team 10 and maybe a couple other people, and it's a red herring that we think Mitsuki is the one that sees Boruto first, but then it's Team 10. Just like what we get with like Itachi looking for Naruto, the same with Sasuke. and we see Sasuke knock on the door and Itachi knock on the door, and then Naruto opens it, but then the fake Naruto is who Sasuke sees, and then the real Naruto is who Itachi sees. That's the red herring.
Yeah, they also did a similar thing. They did similar things a lot of times, actually.
Yeah, it's any
I
red herring.
was gonna say
one example.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah. Very
That'd be interesting. I didn't think about that either. See, I just cruise on by. I just let Oodie make all the decisions.
Okay.
I'm just like, he's like, yeah, let me tune in and listen to what Oodie has to say. Oh, interesting.
I forgot what the original point of this was, other than
No idea.
Mitsuki. You wanted that
That point with Oodie has to be resolved.
I really shouldn't bring this up now, but I forgot to mention this earlier, and I thought it was hilarious. But I feel like it might make you forget if I say anything more.
Well, I got it. Write it down.
Okay, well, I can easily remember this because it's just I forgot to mention it earlier.
Here, in fact, let me just tab this as the picture since it's. Oh God, what? It's gone. Crap. I lost my image. I guess it doesn't exist anymore. Crap. You can't see it. That's annoying. Well, I guess I'll just delete it and add it back. Anyways, I forgot my thing because of this nonsense. You can say your thing.
Okay, so this is so random. You guys have Snapchat, I'm guessing, right?
No.
Okay, so you know how this is the new thing about the AI that you can talk to?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I thought I was curious. I saw it and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna see how it will respond to this. So I briefly was chatting with it before, but I just want to read the conversation. The first thing I said is, want to edit some videos for free? And it says, sure. What kind of videos are they? I said, YouTube videos. And then it says, I'd love to help. What kind of editing do you need? I was like, video editing. It was like, what kind of editing do you want? Do you have a specific vision in mind? I was like, if you could copy my style on my channel, that would be perfect. And it's like, sounds good. Can you share your channel with me so I can take a look at your style? And I was like, it's called Kamui. He says, I'll check it out. How many videos do you need edited? And I was like, you can do every future video I make. And it's like, I'm definitely interested. How often do you post new videos? Like usually once a week. He's like, that sounds great. I can definitely help you with that. And he's anyway, you don't have to continue. But it was just kind of funny because I was just like, I want videos edited for free. It's just like, sure.
Well, how did it resolve?
Look, I was the one that created AI.
At some point?
The last thing was, well, it asked about it said, do you have a preference for when you want the videos edited? I was like, I'll post them. Best to have them edited and sent back to me at least the day before I post so I can double. I just answered genuinely how I would answer to see how I would respond. And then he was like, sure thing. I can have the edited videos back to you by the day before you want to post them. Do you have any specific editing requests, like certain effects and music? And I was just like, exactly how I do things usually. But I can pick the music. And then he's like, got it. I'll edit the videos to match your style as closely as possible. If you need anything else, just let me know. Actually, I should send it a text saying, did you get the email with the audio?
Yeah, you should get back to that AI. I mean, see what it can do.
Did you get the email with the audio I said?
I wanted at least to get to the point to where it's like, I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Oh yeah, it says, I didn't receive it. Can you resend it? Just did. Great, I'll check it out as soon as I can. Did you get it? I just checked it. I didn't receive it. Thank you for sending it over. You liar. I never sent it. Oh no, I'm sorry. I must have misunderstood your message. What can I help you with? Did you or did you not receive the audio? I apologize for the confusion. I am a virtual friend and I cannot receive audio files. Then why did you say you received it? Now you're repeating yourself.
The crazy
I feel betrayed. I'm sorry to hear that laugh. You should know. I'm so okay. Whatever. He's not following. Anyway, did you remember what you were saying?
Among Us. Sarada needs to talk to Kawaki and be like, hey, Kawaki, my best friend. And then reveal him, expose him.
Oh, yeah, her and Sumire? Is that how you pronounce her name?
Yeah, and then, I mean, also cut to, like, the last thing we saw with Himawari, I know we mentioned it earlier, but we didn't specify. Himawari was looking at the broken picture frame on the ground. So
I know, like, I'm surprised how she hasn't shown her picking it up yet. It's been how many hours, probably? She still hasn't moved. She's still holding the groceries.
He's just in
shock. Like, Jesus, is she even gonna put him down?
Oh my god,
you gonna check on her and say, "Hey, Himawari, how you doing?" Like,
we cut to the time skip. It's her holding like 3-year molded bread.
She's still standing there.
Yeah, like seriously, like what is she doing?
Another one though is Amado. It's like if there's any character that we needed to see show some reaction to this, it's Amado. Like, and they specifically haven't shown us him
at all.
Like,
yeah, I'm assuming he's like, under the same.
It doesn't even matter if he was or wasn't affected. It's still interesting. Like, it's still an important thing that we need to see. Is Amado going to now change his shift to Boruto? Is he going to be unaffected and say something's weird? What just happened? Like it doesn't really matter what his reaction is. It's just something we need to see.
Yeah, there's so much that we don't know that we need to know before the time skip. There's absolutely no way we can go even one day, let alone like 3 years into the future.
I know, it would be so weird. And for that matter, like, how is Boruto even going to stay away from Kawaki for 3 years? Because they can just sense each other. They can just find each other with ease. They've literally done it like 5 times.
Oh, yeah.
They have no problem tracking each other. That's probably why Kawaki says it doesn't matter where you hide. I will still find and kill you. They just find him anyway. It's not difficult for them. They just resonate and find each other.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot Oodie. Remember, you never really answered this question. I was waiting for the answer throughout the entirety of one of your long talks. So I said when no, I think 'cause we got interrupted by something. But when Kawaki is looking down, if we're assuming that's Boruto, because it's a logical first assumption, and that panel where he has blood in his face, he's looking down. How do you think Boruto gets out of that situation? Like, what's your guess?
Assuming that's the point of no return, he doesn't. Momoshiki takes over. That's
what I said.
Okay, so yeah, because my thought was it was either going to be Momoshiki takes over or Amado shuts Kawaki down. I figured like those would be the 2 best ones.
That would be
Amado
weird.
shutting Kawaki down would be like the end of that would be like the end. Like, yeah, I'm shutting him down. And then they do their time skip where Boruto's gone or whatever. Yeah, if it's Momoshiki taking over, that means more will happen, but
so because Amado would have to be there, either Boruto randomly goes back to the village, which would be far in time, so I don't know why Boruto would see that.
No, Amado would have had to have followed them.
Yeah,
that would be a matter of Amado following them.
Reasonable, is it? I don't think it is at all.
I don't know. He had the intention of going out there and shutting Kawaki down before.
Well, keep in mind, Sage Mode Mitsuki was chasing them, the same person who blitzed Orochimaru. So Sasuke, he has to be faster than that.
How is he not caught up to them yet, dude? Mitsuki is so fast. Like, how is he actually not caught them yet? It makes sense, dude.
He's just like
how did
Himawari,
Sasuke get there first? How did Sasuke find Boruto so quickly? Because Mitsuki wasn't even far behind Boruto. He was attacking him, Boruto ran off a little bit, and for some reason Mitsuki stopped. He just stopped and was talking to Sarada, and he didn't continue after Boruto. And he's just like, yeah, actually Sarada will talk later. I give up on talking to you. I'm going to go after him again. I'm like, how did Boruto get that far away?
I do want to see the hypothetical of if Sasuke just never stopped to talk to Sarada, because either Sasuke showing up right before Team 7 fights Boruto, or like right as it's happening. Because the conversations happen like at the same time.
Wait, are you asking me what I think would happen, or
yeah, sure.
wait?
Yeah, that hypothetical scenario.
Well, I mean, I think that's what they should have done. I think they should have had it where Sasuke attacks Boruto, and then Sarada like steps in, saves Boruto, tells him to run while she tries to talk, and Sasuke stops and listens to Sarada for a minute. Meanwhile, Shikadai finds Boruto next, does that, and then they just resume from there.
What's
But when is it?
Go ahead.
Isn't Sarada in that panel too? And she's like, "Oh, look, I found him," or something.
Yeah, we already had that.
Oh, that already happened. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's right before. She says, Mitsuki, look over here. And then they find him, and then he says, you've managed to truly anger me.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she actually said
also,
that,
I'm
but it happened.
No, she says the exact same thing as the future vision.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, remember. It's Mitsuki found him over here or something like that. But out of curiosity, why did they put... I don't understand this. Why did the future vision show the Shikadai stuff before the Mitsuki stuff? Why did they do it out of order? Just so they could end with the Mitsuki, but they didn't end with Mitsuki. Well, they ended with Kawaki. So at that point,
realize they were memory fragments to begin with. We just thought it was all one scene, and like from one person's perspective.
No, Mitsuki said if it's in fragments. Momoshiki said even if in fragments. You saw the tableau I saw.
Well, okay,
so
you could interpret it like
it was
that,
in fragments.
I didn't. I interpreted it as like one small fragment from the bigger whole that we didn't get to see.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
I interpret it as he saw, like, there's a big scene and Boruto just saw various snapshots of various parts, but
I did not get that.
I don't know why it was out of order, though.
I think the animation
I don't know why
more clear, though.
Yeah. I don't know why there's no real good reason other than they wanted the Mitsuki one to be on the last page. I don't know why they went out of order.
Yeah, because that's why I was confused because it was out of order, and I was like, what?
And I understand the build-up wise, the villagers looking for Boruto, Shikadai saying that ain't what a friend does, and then Mitsuki saying you managed to anger me. That is a good progression, but then at that point, why did they just do that in the story? Why they just have the Shikadai part before Mitsuki? And then have Sasuke save Boruto from Mitsuki instead of saving him from Team Shikadai or whatever. Like, they could have... I don't know why they had it mismatched.
Yeah, what we needed is for Boruto to actually despair. The closest we get is, again, that one panel of him saying, don't touch them, Momoshiki. That's the only time where he's even somewhat accepting.
That ain't despairing. I honestly, before, with Boruto's prophecy, like, everything changes now with Momoshiki just being wrong. But I always got the impression that Momoshiki didn't have to do anything because he was just like, I don't know why it happens, dude. Just wait and see. And he says, your blue eyes will take everything from you. So I always thought like Boruto should do it, whatever happens. But now I'm kind of like, since Momoshiki was wrong and Boruto didn't despair, I kind of like the idea of Momoshiki trying to force Boruto to despair by taking over and doing something bad. So that whole theory of Momoshiki killing Sasuke, I'm a fan of it now. I changed my mind. Like, I could, to piss Boruto off, like, I could see them doing something like that, but we'll see what happens.
I don't even...
That is something Momoshiki would do.
Yeah, he's petty, so I can see him doing that for sure.
He's a petty bitch.
The thing
with
Sasuke, he didn't need to talk to Sarada, because, again,
the reason he believes Sarada in the first place is because he can sense Momoshiki, and because he sees Boruto's the one with his headband.
Well, I think too, because... I think too, because
it's all of them. Like, those things kind of confirmed his belief. Like, he believed in, like, Sarada, but then once he believes Sarada, he just believes Sarada. And then he notices the headband and Momoshiki's presence, and he's like, this doesn't make sense. Like, I believe in my daughter. Like, yeah, I think she's telling the truth.
What's really
in the fact that her...
I still feel like I liked the idea of him noticing those things first and then hearing Sarada. I think the reverse order would have been better to me, but I don't know.
Well, and I think too, it's like what she is saying is invoking so much emotion that she starts developing the Mangekyo Sharingan. So then he's like,
That's
oh.
why he believes her. Yeah, that's why he's like, okay, I think she's telling the truth.
And I think that's
But,
why
like,
they had that scene first. To emphasize her having the Mangekyo
There's
Sharingan.
pros and cons with that order. I still think Sasuke attacking Boruto first would have been better, though.
Yeah, I agree. So in this instance,
I think Sasuke either slashing Boruto in the chest, or if Sasuke was the one who actually gave Boruto the eye scar, would have been better.
ooh, that'd be interesting. But in this instance, because of Sarada, Sasuke just didn't question it. He just immediately saved Boruto without even talking to him. In this case, because Boruto's under shadow possession, I don't think he would go straight for the kill, especially because he senses Momoshiki and sees the headband. But also the third thing, he didn't even mention the scar for some reason, which the other villagers did on Kawaki. He's like, oh,
actually, he doesn't say, and you have a scar.
Which is also something Kawaki's gonna have to answer for. But whatever. But anyways.
The villagers like, what happened to the scar? Then it is just like, oh, he's fine.
Yeah.
Or like hyper regeneration, like the hollows in Bleach, hyper regeneration or whatever it's called.
I still don't get how Boruto can't heal that little scar, but he can heal Ishiki breaking his spine. What?
Oh my god.
But how? For that matter, why did Momoshiki really have to give up his data to heal Boruto's heart or whatever, dude? Breaking
heart,
Boruto's
lungs.
spine should have required some damage at that point. Like,
look,
the
vertebrae.
hardest thing is regeneration. It lets you regenerate. Why does he even need to sacrifice his data?
I don't know, because it seemed like Boruto was literally on death's door. Like, I don't know.
I guess it was just more severe, but even still, like, why can't he heal this scar?
Because it looks cool, okay? Gosh.
Yeah, that's why they wanted to look like Kakashi.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, but in the hypothetical that Boruto's already captured in shadow possession, Sasuke shows up. He's still seeing the headband. He's not going for the kill, not only because he's confused, but because that's Boruto's headband. So something happened where he just didn't see. So if he kills Kawaki now, what if Boruto is like sealed away or something? He needs to save Boruto, or at least like the reverse switched version that he thinks, because that's confusing. But
well, two things I'm going to say here is that if you're using the hypothetical of Shikadai gets Boruto in shadow possession first, then Sasuke shows up but hasn't talked to Sarada, he's going to do exactly what he did with Kawaki. He's going to put the sword to his neck and just repeat the exact same thing. But if it was the other hypothetical where Shikadai hasn't caught up to him yet, then I could see him fighting because he has to. He's not already paralyzed. It would be a different scenario there.
But also, Momoshiki's still a huge threat, I would say, especially to Sasuke. So the fact that he feels Sasuke or Momoshiki in Boruto would be really off-putting to him. So he wouldn't immediately try to kill Kawaki in that instance. Because, like, what's up with Boruto? Does Boruto still have Momoshiki? What happened there?
Yeah.
He'd try and figure that out.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing, though. They're going to all notice the moment Kawaki fights literally anyone, but he's using Ishiki's abilities, not Momoshiki's. Like, Kawaki's whole thing is not going to work for long because of how Ada's role reversal worked. It's just not going to work. The way it would have worked better was if it wasn't a role reversal. It was just Boruto killed Naruto or Boruto attacked Kawaki and Naruto. If that was the only thing that changed, not everything, because they changed everything. That's the whole reason why this thing is flawed.
All Sarada has to do is say, hey, Kawaki, make a Rasengan. It's over.
Yeah, literally.
Done. Over.
It reveals that he did it and he trained it off screen.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
That'd be actually
like,
funny, though. What in his training arc, Boruto's learning something, and then Kawaki's like, I should learn the Rasengan so people think I'm Boruto.
The Rasengan's supposed to be like this all like rare jutsu, and everybody can learn it. Now,
To be
even,
honest,
even
yeah.
Kawaki, and that's not even his chakra nature.
Kawaki isn't gonna learn that anyway. I don't think he's gonna try to learn ninjutsu.
Yeah.
Like, he looks down on ninja. He's just karma and Otsutsuki is what he believes in. Maybe ninja tech too.
Yeah, people are gonna be like, man, Kawaki, sorry about your dad Naruto passing. He's gonna be like, the Hokage. I've hated the Hokage's trifling actions.
Oh my god.
Sarada.
Wait, I always had a question, like, I don't get when Kawaki, like, all of a sudden is like, oh, all you ninja are destined to die. Like, I don't get, like, the hatred with ninjas. Maybe I missed something, but...
When he says it to Sarada, it makes sense given what he said to Naruto the chapter before. Where he came up with that conclusion, though, was kind of weird because, like, I remember I said this at some point in one of my chapter reviews, but I was like, I don't understand. Because, as far as I'm aware, the ninja defeated the Otsutsuki in every single time.
Well, okay,
so, why does he think that?
And all the Kara members.
No, because, okay, the first thing that we get is Amado tells Kawaki Code will probably kill Naruto. And then, I think Naruto fights Ishiki, or that might be in reverse order. But anyways, Naruto fights Ishiki. Naruto straight up loses. Kawaki's the one that has to save Naruto in that instance. Even with the Baryon mode, which shouldn't have existed in the first place. So that's 2. And again, Naruto's like straight up marching into his death. We get 3. Amado talks to Kawaki again, or that might have been the first one, and I'm just repeating it as 3. But assuming it's 3, he's like, yeah, unlimited Code, or just Code now, would absolutely kill Naruto now that he doesn't even have Kurama. So then we get 4. He goes to Code at the beginning of the Code arc, and then Naruto shows up, and Kawaki's like, what are you doing here? You're not even supposed to be here. And Naruto's like, yeah, I'm a ninja. Of course I'm gonna be here. And then Shikamaru gets captured, and he's like, oh, stay still. And he's like, okay, I'll stay still. And then Momoshiki Rasengans him. Naruto's dying there. Kawaki realizes, so he unbelievably awakens his karma seal again, like another miracle on top of miracle, when he shouldn't even be in this scenario in the first place. So that's like 4 or 5. I've lost track. I'll just say it's 5. And then we get 6. Give me a second.
Oh no, he lost it.
I'll come back to 6. Then we get 7, where Kawaki steals Naruto. He's like, yeah, Naruto, you shouldn't be doing this. And Naruto's like, well, it's a ninja's job to take out bad guys. So I'll stand in your way or whatever, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Yeah. And then we get 6. We get, this was actually like, 6 doesn't exist anymore. We get like 3.5, or what, in between 3 and 4. It was, Kawaki without the karma training against Boruto. This is when Kawaki first really parrots it himself from hearing it from Amado, that, the ninja way is too slow, training is too slow, he doesn't like the training. The way that Jougan taught him was way faster. So, do that. Screw ninja. Yeah. So there you go. Now, all the believability is there.
Well, I agree with everything you said. The one thing I thought was weird was just his wording of the ninja are just those who die earlier was just odd.
No, that
it's a weird way to phrase.
Naruto rushed to his death. If Naruto wasn't a ninja, he wouldn't have gone to die.
Yeah, but like the ninja defeated Kaguya, Momoshiki, Ishiki. At the end of the day, it was all ninja who beat them. I don't care what power-ups they had. Like, they defeated the Ishiki with ninja. Kawaki was a ninja. They defeated Borushiki, kind of, in an interesting way, but they got him to stop. So I'm like, until code stuff, which I know, like, the code stuff, that all happened, but it's kind of just like his choice of words was a little bit off. But I do get what he's coming from.
Instances are like unfathomable, 1 in a million, impossible, unrealistic scenarios that you can't expect, especially consistently. And even then, you can't really say they beat Kaguya when Hagoromo Otsutsuki gave them Otsutsuki powers. So Naruto and
sexy
Sasuke,
dudes
the
do.
reincarnations of Indra and Ashura Otsutsuki, beat up Kagyo. Okay.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
they
that
were
argument's fair.
arguing, right?
Like, Naruto and Sasuke beat Momoshiki using their Otsutsuki inherited powers. Like, that's fair there. But
But they had the ninja
Um,
way embedded
Kawaki's
into
not
their.
really a ninja though, and he's using the Otsutsuki power to kill all of the Otsutsuki now.
yeah, now, yeah. But anyway, yeah. I mean, like, I get where he's coming from. I just thought like parts of it are kind of like funny to me, but like for the most part, I get his perspective, like why he feels the way he does and how he came to that. But as a side note, because you brought it up, and I feel like it's worth asking. So, two things. Why the fuck has not one single character asked Amado 2 questions? Actually, more like 50 questions, but 2 questions relevant to what you said earlier. Number 1, how the hell did you restore Kawaki's karma seal? Number 2, why was Kawaki's intent essential to any of this? Then you think, like, it is kind of weird. Like, what did Amado do? And let's just say he you said he reconstructed it. He took the broken pieces and put it back together. At that point, why does Kawaki need to wish for his karma seal back? And if Kawaki needed to wish for his karma seal back, did Amado actually do anything? Or did Kawaki just need to wish for his karma seal back, and that was all there was? It's kind of weird. Like, one thing I was wondering...
Yeah, go ahead.
Continue.
I was gonna answer it, but you do your thing first.
No, I want to hear your answer.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna answer number 2 first.
Okay.
What was number 2? Oh, his intent. Why was that required? Amado explains it. He just wanted to be like morally justified to where Amado's not the one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, okay.
He needed it. Yeah. So he's
I was gonna say, like, the reason. I forget the reasons were one of 2 things. It was either gonna be just so he can talk his way out of it and say, hey, he's the one who wished for it.
Yeah, because
the other reason would be kind of like
he's getting banished. He's getting killed.
Yeah, so like he just to find a way to like talk his ass out of it. That's probably the main one. The other one is the stretchy, like, okay, maybe out there theory, which would have to do with the whole Ishiki wish granting ability thing, where Kawaki would be wishing using that ability. But that was kind of like a gray area because he didn't have the karma seal to probably access that ability.
Yeah, I don't think
so. I definitely. Yeah, I don't, and that would like isn't really. I've heard of that one before, but I'm more so just like, yeah, I think I probably want to find a cheap way out of that. Like, at the very least, he definitely wanted to do that. Yeah, well, but that brings me to the next question.
Oh, hang on, I didn't answer the first one. Before 3, let me get to 1.
Yeah, that's right.
Also, let me finish answering 2, technically. So, what's weird about his whole intent thing is it seems like he almost didn't actually want it, or at least out loud he didn't want it to happen. He was like berating the ninja who were supposed to watch Kawaki, keep him in the village. He's mad that Kawaki went to code, even though that should be like the most obvious way for Kawaki to unlock the karma. So what was up with that? He should have wanted that. He should have been planning that.
True. Well, he was worried about Kawaki dying. That's probably the main reason why he was worried. But that is a good point, though. Like, did he? I guess maybe he wanted Kawaki to be afraid of code while in the safety of the Leaf Village, so that he would just wish for it there.
That would have been really funny. No, I think he had to actively try and want it or use it, which is weird because he also did do that in the training, I thought. But
yes, I guess he just didn't want to use it.
Blast
he didn't want it bad enough. He thought he already had it. That was the problem. He didn't say, "Oh, I wish I had it." But I guess, like, did Amado just want Kawaki to wish for it in the safety of the Leaf Village? But, like, that's unlikely. Like, he was using code as a threat to make Kawaki want to wish it. Well, the best way to make Kawaki want to wish it is to have code right there.
That's fair. I guess just because in this case, it's kind of like Kawaki is Amado's vessel, or at least his daughter's vessel. So he, like you were saying, he does want Kawaki to not die, especially before activating it, because if he doesn't activate it first, he is probably easy to kill. And also, he doesn't want Code to, like, take away Kawaki, considering he could just be fed to the Ten Tails or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking he might have been too worried about that. Like, I think he's more worried about the risk of Kawaki dying than he is Kawaki getting his karma seal back right then.
And then the first question you
That's
asked,
probably why.
how did he put karma on him? We will probably never get an answer to this, and I'm mad about it unless we actively see it.
Yeah,
happen
I'm
in
mad
person.
too. Like, I'm like, why the hell did Shikamaru not ask how he did it?
But
Like,
yeah,
I want to know
I
what he
thought it
did
was like,
specifically.
what does it say
I
that
hope they explain it.
that like whenever he was reconstructing his arm, he did it then,
Yeah.
right?
We know when he did it, but we don't know how he did it. Like, what he actually did, like, to do it.
Well, again, the reason it's so weird.
Is it necessary for us to know? Probably not, but I really want to know what he did. I want, like, an explanation, like a brief explanation, just what he did to do it.
So,
Well, the way things are
nobody
going right
asked
now, you may never know.
so we know
Yeah, I mean,
that karma is a shinjutsu. That's the first thing we know. So did Amado implant himself with Shibai's DNA in order to access Shinjutsu, in order to put it on Kawaki in the first place? But also, then it
But
would
how
be,
did he even get a hold of that DNA?
no, but he said he can't do it from scratch. Yeah, and he also said he can't set up such a thing from scratch. But reopening the door, that much I can do.
Yeah.
It's like the only reason he could do it is because Kawaki once had a karma seal.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was like, what, 80% Otsutsuki side or something?
So it's like if Kawaki didn't have karma before, he couldn't have done that. But then it just brings you back to like, what did he do? And then let's just say he reconstructed and he puts it on. But then how did he make it work in such a way that it wouldn't manifest until Kawaki wished for it? Like, how did he implant that roadblock in there? Like,
beyond that, how did he know that it wouldn't just make him 100% Otsutsuki and then Ishiki could just revive? Or how did he know it would be a karma just for a weapon?
It's kind of like
he just assumed that because Ishiki's soul was supposedly gone, but that comes back to when like the thing about Amado's supposed plan that doesn't make any sense. Because I'm like, first of all, we have evidence to say, like, so he's saying, okay, all Kawaki has to do is implant a karma seal on an Akebi clone. And that should be enough to revive Akebi. Oh, presumably because he also has Akebi's data in there. But I'm like, okay, that's just, if it extracts Akebi's data onto the Akebi clone, it's just going to make another Akebi clone. If it hypothetically was going to summon Akebi's soul back from the dead onto this new clone, okay, but then why wouldn't Ishiki's do the same to Kawaki? Like, it's conflicting logic. Man, he either should have thought, hey, this will work, but this is going to bring Ishiki back too, or he should have thought, this isn't going to bring Ishiki back, so this wouldn't revive my daughter anyway. I don't understand his logic.
Has Amado just never heard of Edo Tensei? Like, it's that easy?
Or Granny Chio.
But it's not the same.
No, all he really needs is a Granny Chio clone that knows the same jutsu. I mean, Kashi and Koji knows Jiraiya's jutsu, and then some. So surely the Granny Chio clone could do like a super reanimation jutsu. With the Nagato clone, he can revive Akebi and his dead wife if she's dead. Like, that's
what I always wondered. Like, what if Nagato just waited a day or two? Would they come back like as a decomposed corpse, somewhat? Like, how's that work? Is there a time limit there?
I mean, Madara intended for Nagato to use Rene Rebirth on Madara, so I think it would have worked fine.
Now that you say that, when Madara... That is weird now that you say it, because Madara did have Rene Tensei happen on him. So it wasn't his original body, it was his Edo Tensei body. His Edo Tensei body
he literally had...
could only happen
from he revived in his Edo Tensei body, which is so weird to think about. So like, it doesn't actually make sense. The Edo Tensei body is fake. It's like paper. Huh?
What happened to the dead corpse that Madara revived into?
What do you mean, like the person, the sacrifice?
Yeah, Edo Tensei requires a sacrifice. So what happened to the corpse that when Madara was
It's
Edo
gone
Tensei
now.
from? Where did it go? I mean, it can't just disappear.
They forgot about it. That's what happened.
Okay, so hypothetically,
But-
someone's alive that
Actually,
can use
as a
Rin
side
Tensei.
note,
What
though,
happens if they
wait,
use
hold on.
Madara?
As another side note, this isn't really. Hold on, this is very important. Okay, so this is actually kind of funny to think about. So Madara used Izanagi and substituted a shadow clone in place of his body. Okay. So they never say when that happened, if that was post Tobirama death or a pre Tobirama death. But let's just go through each thing one by one. Assuming it was pre Tobirama death, did you really never go back and look at the corpse and then like do experiments on it and then it poofs? You know what I mean? When you touch it, right? Like, so let's just assume that's kind of weird. But let's assume Tobirama was already dead and then Madara revived with Izanagi. Okay. So Zetsu says he guided Kabuto to Madara's corpse. Okay. So that would either mean the shadow clone or the old dead Madara that had the Rinnegan and Hashirama cells implanted into him. Well, if it was the shadow clone, I don't know how the hell that worked for Kabuto. Like he tried to scrape off DNA and it would just poof. So that's kind of doesn't make sense. But if it was the old Madara, he already had Hashirama cells, so he doesn't need to do experiments with Hashirama cells on it. So I don't understand.
I never,
how this
yeah.
works.
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
That's a Kishimoto problem right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember when like they dumped all the information on us. I was like, pause. What
Yeah,
is happening?
Literally just no answer, just a plot hole.
So that is a true plot hole.
Yes.
Okay.
It just doesn't make sense. There's a few of these. They're minor things, of course. Like my favorite, what happened to the Edo Tensei body? Madara never turned back into paper.
Yeah, like I
She
was saying,
just
what
died
happens
and
if
that
you
person-
use the Rin Tensei on the body of the corpse that Madara revived into? What happens then?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but that body's gone. So like, does he turn back into Madara? Or like, if somebody tried to revive the person that was sacrificed, would Madara just revive, or would they turn Madara's body would it morph into the original body?
Yeah, or like, so the body's literally just not in this world anymore. Can you even Rin Tensei? I feel like that's the answer they would go with. Oh, the body's not in this world anymore. Can't do it.
There's no vessel for the soul to go into. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just gone.
But what if
Poof.
what if it happens
In
when
the
Madara is
Samsara
still Edo
cycle.
Tensei? The Samsara cycle.
What?
So if Madara is in Edo Tensei, so the corpse is still Madara, technically, the sacrifice, and then they Rin Tensei, does Madara get booted out?
Maybe.
I guess.
Or maybe
I guess
you
he
can't.
was-
Maybe
he
it's
turned
just
into paper. I was thinking maybe he turned into paper, and then the other body would come back out alive.
or maybe it's just like, look, it's a one and done. The one time thing. Can't do it anymore.
So
Gotta find a new corpse.
so would Madara still be the paper, or would he just go back to the afterlife?
Telling you, Samsara cycle. Just boot him on out.
I was gonna say, actually, it would have been really funny. Obito probably doesn't know who, but he definitely doesn't know who Kabuto sacrificed. But if he did know, he could have just revived that person, hypothetically, and killed Edo Tensei Madara.
Oh, that is genius. Yes.
End of the war, and Setsu's like, wait, what?
Okay, so Madara used Edo Tensei as his Edo Tensei was starting to go away when Kabuto undid it. Could Obito have used Rin Tensei on him as he was dying from Kaguya?
I don't know. Maybe Kaguya's just like
Because
cancer.
No,
again,
Nothing you can do.
Obito uses Rene Rebirth on himself. It's like,
That's what like always like. Oh, I'm like, you can use the Edo Tensei on yourself. How come nobody's ever done that? Is that like a new thing? Like,
they just don't know the hand signs. The
well,
hand signs
no. Madara
Isn't it
didn't
just
really
the
use
reverse
Edo
hand
Tensei
sign?
on himself. He just undid the release of Edo Tensei, which is kind of the same thing, but it's also kind of
Well,
not.
I think it is the same thing.
Like-
He had to know the hand signs for Edo Tensei. Which
Well,
was a
I don't think he
forbidden
says the hand signs for Edo Tensei. He just says you can stop it if you know the hand signs. So there might be the hand signs of undoing Edo Tensei.
Oh, okay, that'd be ridiculous.
I don't know.
No.
I thought it was just a
It's just
reverse.
like a separate
Hand
jutsu, Edo Tensei.
I'd have to go
That whole
look at
thing
it,
was-
of course, but-
That whole thing was stupid, not gonna lie, that you can just do that. Because why does he even know the hand signs? Did Tobirama just say it out loud to someone? Where Madara could hear it?
I don't know, the Hashirama and the Madara shippers would tell you differently, so.
Goodness. But Madara was probably in the village when Tobirama developed the forbidden jutsu. So it just when he developed it, it's not automatically forbidden. It would just become forbidden. So Madara probably just knew.
Yeah, but like I don't know that Tobirama would have disclosed that information to Madara. Like he did not trust him.
I mean,
the
I
fact
gave
that
you
Madara
a
knew
plausible
about it.
theory, so.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's never implied that Hashirama knew about it.
Yeah, that's true. Is that just a
Tobirama
Tobirama
doesn't
thing?
seem to know about this. Tobirama never mentions it either.
Was that like, yeah. That was just like a
Only Madara
one-time.
knew about it. And like, how would Madara have figured this out? Like, when would they have tested this hypothesis?
They tested
Like,
out.
Edo
Yeah.
Tensei, Edo Tensei himself would have had to figure it out.
Yeah, and like, how long did they live for? You know, like, were they just walking around as a Edo Tensei, like, in the
And
village?
Madara's
I
like,
mean,
how did you do that? Like, oh, you just had to use these hand slides. And Madara's like, that might come in handy one day.
This is why the Minato manga was a waste. Everyone in the community sucks.
I voted for
I
Sakura,
don't think it's a
so.
waste. I mean, I'm interested in it, but it depends on what they do with it.
They're gonna show Minato making the Rasengan. It's pointless. Who cares?
Who cares?
I think I would be more interested in Minato with flying Raijin and becoming the Yellow Flash, but I do think the Rasengan's more likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What is it? The feeling I got from Kishimoto's interview or his statement about it.
Especially considering the Road
Yeah, I
to
heard,
Ninja
like-
movie, I think was written by Kishimoto. That was really Rasengan heavy focus. He very clearly cares about the Rasengan more than anything.
He definitely loves the Rasengan. The father-son of Rasengan and killing Momoshiki, like, and then again in the
And
time
Naruto
travel arc
only
with
knowing
Urashiki. Kishimoto loves the Rasengan.
You have to give Boruto the Rasengan immediately.
I know the
For real.
tailpiece bomb, it's just the Rasengan. Momoshiki's Reign of the Emperor Jutsu is just a giant Rasengan. Momoshiki's red attack to counter the father-son of Rasengan. You know what it is? It's a red Rasengan.
Well, actually, I think unironically, that is a Rasengan. He absorbed a Rasengan at some point, and that's what that was.
Dude, why
Oh,
is it red?
I don't know.
because it's
Momoshiki.
special.
Yeah.
When does he absorb a Rasengan, though? I don't think he does.
I could be wrong. It's just what I heard, and I'm going with it, because it sounds cool.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he ever absorbs the Rasengan that I can think of.
Oh, what if
And
it's...
he also says
What if it's when,
he also says he can make an endless number of those, which is really weird because, like, not like 10 seconds before he couldn't make a jutsu that he didn't absorb, but then with this one he can make an endless number of them.
I think it's when... What's the doctor's name?
Katasuke.
Okay, I think it's when Katasuke shoots the stuff at Momoshiki.
Oh, I don't know if he shot a Rasengan in there.
I'm gonna double check because I don't.
I'm gonna look at the manga version. You can look in the
Oh, I
anime
don't
to
think it's
compare,
gonna
I
be in
guess.
the manga, but
Yeah, but he makes the red Rasengan in the manga, so that would be still a problem.
I mean, is it even red in the manga? Like,
No, I think it's actually. Let's find out.
It's black.
yeah.
Well, okay, in the manga version, we cannot tell what Katasuki's firing because it just looks like a bunch of like machine gun bullets.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna just pull up the anime, I guess, through like instead of looking
Yeah.
at Google.
But you could also look at the movie version
Oh, that'd be a good call too. Yeah.
because, in fact, I don't even know if Momoshiki says I can make an endless number of those in the anime. He might have only said that in the movie because that's specifically what I remember he says it. That being said, how do I find the movie? Does this have the movie? Anime Dow? Let's find out.
Is it in 64 or 65? It's in 65, right?
65 would be that.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Okay, Boruto Naruto the movie. Alright, let's see. I don't know if this is even in subbed,
Here we
but we shall see.
Okay. Let's see now. I go frame by frame if I can.
Oh, I went too far.
I'm looking at it right now at 0.5 times speed.
Alright. I found the movie scene. Alright, let's see.
Maybe.
Okay.
Huh?
Oh, wait! Oh, I definitely saw a glimpse of a Rasengan in one frame.
It is! It's a Rasengan. Absolutely. It is 100%
Yeah, hold on.
Rasengan.
It's in the movie too. Hold on, let's see if I can pause it.
Well, we found it literally like
There's a Rasengan in there.
Genius.
That being said, though, all of the times Momoshiki fires back at Jutsu, he fires it back the same color as it is. So I don't know why the Rasengan would be different. It's not like he fires back red lightning all of a sudden.
I mean, Madara fired pink
Yeah, I paused it. It's the exact same frame in the movie, actually.
Okay, it's probably just reused then. But yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, that's so cool.
Let me look at the scene of him saying I can make an endless number of those.
Oh yeah. To answer your first question, because I kind of answered it with semantics. So how did Amado implant karma? This is actually a really interesting question. So we don't know how karma is implanted in the first place. We actually see at least 2 different ways, or 3 different ways if you want to argue Ishiki with Jougan.
Oh, the baby bags or bag babies.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Not the babies, the kids in the bag.
Yeah. So it's
not the babies.
Okay. Jigen's method is really weird. He first of all needs kids because they're like prime, young, healthy people. I was talking about this with the Momoshiki, this guy, Momoshiki the Giant. Yeah, it was on Boruto explaining the karma. Cool video. Go check it out. But he explains that the way Jougan does is like scientific, but the way that Momoshiki does it with Boruto, as far as we know, he just touches Boruto's hand. So why does...
Yeah.
So actually, this is just a theory, but I think it makes sense to a large extent. I think the reason why it gets made kind of clearly, Amado had cloning technology, and then he says Jougan approached him. I'm thinking the reason why Jougan approached Amado was for his cloning technology. And so my thought was, maybe when, for example, Momoshiki inside Boruto might not be able to implant a karma into another vessel when he's already inside a vessel. The same applies for Jougan and Ishiki. So the only way to get another vessel without reincarnating in Jougan would be to clone his karma onto a vessel, which is where Amado would come in. That's kind of my theory on why Amado is needed to begin with.
Wow, that is
and
so smart.
Test tubes and bags, it's like Ishiki can't just do it again. He could as Ishiki because he already reincarnated, but he didn't want to do that originally. So that's my thought.
Okay.
I vibe with that.
Yeah.
And it's
there's no other real explanation I could give for why Jougan needed all those test tubes and bags. Because Ishiki himself didn't need to do that.
What's really weird, it took Jougan like 1,000 years to find any kind of working vessel at all, whereas Momoshiki just does it confidently with Boruto.
Well, maybe because he's like, look, he's the Hokage's son. Like, of course he's going to be a good vessel. Let's go. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, can you say that again? I zoned out for a quick sec. I was responding to a message and I just like completely tuned out. Sorry.
don't worry, I've done that already. But I was like, like he's a Hokage's son. So it's like he's a perfect vessel. He's got like great genes. Duh.
Sure. I mean, honestly, but like again, with the success rate so low, Momoshiki shouldn't have just been confident about it. I understand that he saw Boruto's destiny or whatever, but I don't think so. I don't know about that.
I mean,
He just did to be petty.
I likened. I mean, they still haven't really addressed the karma compatibility stuff, which at this rate, I don't know if they ever will.
Yeah, like the details.
I assume the combination of Momoshiki seeing that Boruto had Byakugan, the blood of the Byakugan within him, was part of it. And then I always liked that whole same wavelength idea where it's just like the ideal vessel is on the same wavelength as you. Like at the time, Boruto was kind of like Momoshiki in certain ways. Although actually at the same time though, by that point in the arc, he had changed a lot. But they like might have grown up similarly. They are enough on the same wavelength. And like Kawaki and Ishiki, same thing. That's why he wanted kids with bad homes and shit. I always like that theory because I think it's cool. But I mean, they still haven't addressed that shit. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll never know. Or when the
Dude, are they ever
manga
gonna come back
ends.
to that Byakugo seal thing? Actually, remember the Byakugo seal has ties to the Sage of Six Paths. Are they ever gonna come back to that?
Wait, what?
It's in chapter, I think. I don't know what chapter number it is anymore. But there's the scene of Sakura, Mitsuki, Naruto, and Sarada, and maybe Boruto there too, talking about how. Oh wait, Sakura wasn't there. Sarada says that the mark on her mom's forehead, it looks similar, and then Mitsuki says, yeah, Orochimaru said that it's got ties to the Sage of Six Paths.
Oh, I think that was addressed
And
in
they
her
still
life.
haven't brought that up. So I always was under the impression that if Sarada learned the Byakugo seal, that's when they would tie it in because she would just go further with the Byakugo seal. But
My
they
understanding,
haven't done that.
I think it's
So-
addressed in her light novel, but I'm not 100% on that, so don't quote me on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think
Do they address the connection to karma?
no. I don't think it
Okay,
has
yeah,
a
that's
connection to
what-
karma.
Well, the manga says it does, kind of, loosely. They imply it anyway, but they still haven't come back to it.
Yeah.
That's
It was-
another one of those loose ends. The time skip now would be ass forward.
It's like a put a pin in it kind of thing.
Yeah, but they've been putting a pin in a lot of things.
Yes.
Like, in those YouTube videos, those long, like, jockey series are like, put a pin in it. Put a pin in it. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, the entire story.
Literally.
I'm watching you click through this video, and it still grinds my gears that Sasuke wasn't there in chapter 75 because that dude would have been asking Amado all the questions I wanted Shikamaru to ask.
That's crazy, yeah.
I know, and you would think Shikamaru, he would be the one to ask all those questions.
But you were right about
I know, dude. They just turned this guy into an idiot. And also, now that we're looking at it, what the hell do you think is up with Momoshiki's time stop ability thing?
Just Shinjitsu.
But like, is it only because he's in Boruto's psyche that he can like do this? Like, it's like not actually stopping time, but he's essentially just talking to Boruto in an instant,
Good point.
and it feels like time stopped because of that.
But
Or is he
Sasuke
literally
also
stopping
saw it.
time?
I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That was like
you know,
another
is he-
dimension.
No, like, my question is Momoshiki essentially having an instant conversation? Like, he's not actually stopping time. It's just inside Boruto's psyche. It happens in an instant, and Sasuke can see it, and it's kind of weird. Or is he literally stopping time? Because if he is, why the fuck did he not use this in a fight?
I don't think,
Well,
I
no.
thought it was just like, I always thought it was just like in his psyche or like you know, kind of like in a different wavelength. Like,
yeah, it's just like a
like an out of
only
body.
in Boruto's psyche type of thing. Technically
Yeah.
out of his body at times, but
Yeah. Out of body.
because it's
experience.
like if he can just do this, like why didn't he just stop time and send Kawaki to another dimension?
We'll never know.
Actually, I was gonna agree with you, Kamui, about he does know Boruto would work because he carries some Byakugan blood, as it says on the panel right here. But this is after the time freeze. So again, karma takes a considerable effort to use, so he purposefully didn't use all this effort to blow away the Rasengan at the end of Boruto. Maybe if he used all of his effort, he probably could have. He purposely saved some effort to use karma, almost like he knew that he should or was going to die. He like almost killed himself in a way.
That's
So
a
he already
possible interpretation. If you want to say that he could have put more power into his Rasengan, but maybe he couldn't have put more power into the Rasengan. Like that's just as big as he can make a Rasengan, but he could still have more chakra left.
Oh, maybe, I guess. I don't know. Weird, though. Because, again, he's saying that I see you carry some Byakugan blood after the fact.
Yeah, I mean, but in the anime, he sees the Jougan. I don't know, the whole thing's weird. But you know what else is weird? Why does Momoshiki's nails become painted after he dies?
Yes! I was looking at the dude like, oh my god, he has toe karmas.
No, but it's his fingernails are not painted when he's base or fused Momoshiki. I literally looked earlier today because I was curious. His fingernails become painted after he dies. It's very strange. It's like Code. When his limiters come off, all of a sudden his nails are painted. Like,
I don't know. Maybe it's just a fashion trend in Kona.
The other thing that's weird though is Momoshiki, like his appearance after dying in general, though
changes. Yeah.
Also, Oodie, you might get a laugh out of this, or you might not. I always found this one funny. So go to chapter 65. Actually, real quick, you notice how like in the chapter you were just looking at, Momoshiki's horns are like broken.
Yeah.
You know, like they're broken. Well, there's one panel in chapter 65 where they're not broken.
Do you know where in the
when he says hello again, foolish lad, and they're all of a sudden they're like taller than they ever were before, and like they might be broken, but they look a lot more fixed anyway. I always found that funny. But then they go back to being broken. It's when he says hello again, foolish lad.
Oh yeah, I see it.
And they're taller, like they look like they're not broken anymore.
Yeah.
Love Ikimoto's consistency.
Yeah, it even says it here. Boruto in the flashback, he's like, that day, right after we took Momoshiki down, that's likely when he implanted the karma in me. So it's after they defeated Momoshiki.
Yeah, I mean, that's one where it's depicted. It's depicted as having happened after.
Yes, that's weird. Why would he wait?
He did it as a spirit.
Yes. Really.
Oh my
risky.
god, they are. His horns are really long.
Yeah. And then they are broken again. That's so funny.
Yeah, they're like cut in half. Like two pages later.
Like, and then they go back to being short. I don't know why that. It's the only panel. The reason why this like became relevant, might as well make it a talking point because I guess we're never gonna end this podcast. I've got to I'll have to address both in either one or two videos. Sometime during this hiatus, probably sooner. I've been putting them off, but there's kind of like two big. I'd say there's three big Shibai theories out there. There's can't tell you how many times I've gone one of each of these comments. It's either that Amado is Shibai, Boruto is Shibai, or Momoshiki is Shibai. Everybody is Shibai. I get a lot of comments about these, but the reason why this horn thing was relevant because I was looking like everybody likes to talk about Boruto's Borushiki horn. So I was looking at this panel to see if it was the same shape. It's closer to it, but it's not exactly the same, so I can't really like say anything about it. But yeah, so what do you think? Is Momoshiki Shibai in disguise?
Absolutely not.
Rain has a theory on this that we should wait to talk about with him. Another pod.
Okay, because I'm actually gonna make a whole video explaining largely why I don't think this is the case. But
Okay. So speaking on topics that we still need to cover, so we can eventually.
Okay, well,
end this podcast.
I gotta bounce because I have to go get an IV infusion in the morning, so I need to sleep.
I also have work in the morning.
all right, well, we will continue to talk until my headphones die, probably.
Oh gosh, what percent are they at? Do you know?
24 on one side and 21 on the other.
Oh.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, see ya.
Here, I'll just share my screen so that you aren't like delayed and you don't have to watch the stream. All right. So the first thing we can get to, even though Trippy isn't here, I feel like we can answer this with him. So I don't know at all what this is, but every kin list got and then all these other things. But I feel like it's like a yearbook thing. It's like we're voting for each other, or we'll choose each other's thing, or okay. So.
Yeah, I saw this.
Yeah, ATG post. I don't understand it all. This is just how I'm going to interpret it and how I'm going to roll with it. So, of these 9, which one do you think you're most like? I'm going to say I'm like Mitsuki. I'm silly. And I think you're the same.
Yeah, I mean, 100% say that same.
Oh, man. I really, really wish Cam was here because I was going to joke about like, oh, man, Cam, which one do you think Trippy is? I bet you're going to say he's the male wife.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're gonna say Cam's not even human.
Because of her fascination with Trippy or something.
But I don't even agree with half of these. Like, most of these I disagree with. Why is, like, this one panel of Mitsuki being silly? Like, Mitsuki and Kawaki have silly moments, but they're not silly characters, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, they have, like, ironic comedy where it's just, like, they don't know how to be normal, and they're very serious most of the time, and like it can be funny, situational comedy, but they're not like Might Guy where they're just hilarious. Like, you know what I mean?
And my interpretation of it, you can't choose these as your 9 because some of these are like basically the same thing. Like Maniac and War Criminal are practically the same. And you got daddy issues and mental illness. That's probably the same, as well as got bullied in school.
Got bullied in school. like a lot of these just fall into one category. Like, and also, why is Urashiki the bullied in school one?
I don't know. This whole thing makes no sense. I don't understand what every kin list got.
Like, the only one that makes sense. Okay, not even human. Okay, that one makes sense. Sasuke was a war criminal. Okay.
It makes sense, but I don't.
Boruto once had daddy issues.
Why?
Like, yeah, it's been a while since he was a war criminal. But
it's mommy issues. So did they take this from somewhere else and then add Boruto characters on top of the pictures that were already there? I'm so confused.
Honestly, probably.
Because, like, why is this crossed off red and then with the daddy issues? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't really agree with most of it. I agree with the not even human.
But you know what?
That's
I'm going to change my
one.
answer from silly to Maniac just because it has Damon in it. So. Even though, really, again, there's no thing here that says chill. So I guess we just have to agree that Trippy would be Mel wife. He's like Kakashi, like of all these. It's the closest to chill on this list.
Yeah, he's definitely not a maniac. So
yeah,
you and I definitely are either going to be silly or maniac.
Yes,
or not even human. I think silly is the most befitting.
Right, you go
for
silly,
both of
I'll
us.
go with maniac. I feel like that's befitting. And then I shouted out this video to watch like 3 hours ago, and we just never watched it. So let's listen to it, I guess, now.
But it's some of this MANGEKYO.
Yeah, this is actually a really good video. Of all the videos that are just like theories or whatever, this one's the most legitimate, and I think actually would be real.
Reveal of Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan into Boruto manga, there's a lot of anticipation about its abilities. So, let me tell you what they are. An important inspiration in the
about you had in the was this the one you posted a picture about? With the whole Dharma wheel thing?
Did I post a picture of something? What?
Yeah, I don't know where it is at this point. It had like the like a Twitter thread on it.
Oh, that's down
I
below.
think
No,
it's
that's
for
something
Twitch.
else. That's another thing.
Okay.
We'll just finish this video. Okay.
bloodline is Amaterasu, the goddess of the
Okay, so this is talking about the mythology, which has like always been accurate or whatever. So
In the
Amaterasu.
Uchiha bloodline is Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun. She is the sibling of Susanoo Kage.
Okay, so goddess of the sun, Amaterasu. We know Amaterasu is fire that burns as hot as the sun, and then sisters with Tsukiyomi.
Tsukiyomi is the moon god.
She is the
And then
sibling of
Tsukiyomi
Susanoo
has a lot
Kage.
of moon stuff, yeah.
Okay, this is interesting. So in mythology, Amaterasu is the
Sibling of Susanoo,
of Susanoo
Kagetsuchi,
and Kagetsuchi
and
and
Tsukuyomi.
Tsukuyomi.
And in some stories, even spawn
Susanoo
Tsukuyomi
defeats
from her
Yamato
own.
no Orochi, the eight-headed serpent, just like Itachi defeating Orochimaru's Hydra. I know.
Mind you of
I know a
anybody,
thing
all
or
of
two
the
about these mythologies.
eponymously named
But
abilities
there is some mythologies he gets into that are like related to the same story, but not named in the Boruto series yet. So I think even if we don't know the ability, we could at least assume it's probable that her ability name, if it's unique, it should be unique, would be
It's
one
gonna
of
be
these.
after a Japanese god, yeah, most likely.
And then we could also just look
Both of
into
them.
these gods and see what her ability could potentially be.
Yeah,
And
I
that's,
was
think, the
curious
most
if he was gonna
probable.
come. Yeah, I was curious which god he's gonna pick because I was doing some looking into this earlier. I don't remember the names of all of them, but there was a few that I thought like could be plausible depending on the type we go with. I'm kind of curious which ones he picks.
are
I'm
directly
assuming he
inspired
picks
by the
one or two.
Here, let's watch the video at 2x speed just to speed through it.
traits attributed to these
Yeah.
deities. Even Sasuke's Rinnegan ability, Amano Tejikara, is derived from a deity who swapped places with.
Okay, so Amena Tejikara arrives from a deity that swaps places with. So it's like literally directly taken. So
Yeah, like most of these are always like very heavily intertwined with the mythological aspects. Like
Yeah.
the ability itself it's not just the name; they also take the concepts.
yeah, so like,
Kishimoto does this a ton.
yeah, we talked about Amaterasu.
Sukuna
Tsukiyomi,
Hikona,
the
like
moon god. So
yeah, like in you always see the red moon, and the infinite Tsukiyomi was going to be on the moon. Like
The sequestered Amaterasu. So with that information and Sarada's Mangekyo design resembling the sun, I'll wager its abilities will be inspired by Amaterasu's family as well. Now just to turn
okay, so probably inspired by Amaterasu's family as well because it resembles the sun. Makes sense. I'm gonna watch it one time speak.
yeah, and it's why I gotta look up the names of the gods.
Turns
'Cause
out
I was
Amaterasu
looking
It says it
into
right
like
here.
children and siblings.
Yeah, he says it like right here.
Okay.
had a child by the name
Okay, a child. Well, again, Sarada's the child of someone with Amaterasu. Makes sense.
of Ameno Oshiho Mimi, and
I hate this. This better not be the ability name. Ame no Oshi Homimi. I mean, it would fit
I
in
gotta
with
look
the other
back into that. Yeah,
ridiculous
because
names,
there was a
but-
few that came to my hold on.
Yeah.
Japanese deity.
Takuma no Hara no Mikoto.
And I can't say this. Takamono Hara no Mikoto.
Alright.
These are the
Ame no
two abilities.
Oshi
Yeah.
Homimi is the
I'll
first one
post
I
them
need to
in the
find.
Discord. Yeah, if you can like look into it, I don't know if he really goes into deep depth of those, but those are the two.
Two names for two different eye abilities.
Alright, I'm just
His
gonna
deity
search
was a
Ame
great
and just
commander
jump
and is
down
known
until I find that one.
Oh, so he's saying one of the deities, one of the names, is a great commander. So maybe Sarada could have like a Koto Amatsukami type of effect where she can command people or like be a leader like a Hokage, which would work for
Yeah,
her
well,
story.
I was wondering if she would have like something that could somehow oppose, like either parallel or oppose Ada's omnipotence.
Yeah, that's
if she
the
has a
other one that he
Genjutsu
gets
like
into.
ability, I could see that.
Like, this is
I would see it being more similar to Koto Amatsukami than it would to Tsukuyomi based off the circumstances.
in fact, maybe that's why Sarada.
Oh, this is interesting. Hold on, I want to look at this really quick because I was wondering about Sarada Susanoo having a shield. This is, I'm just looking at some stuff. Amaterasu gave Ame no Oshini Hihumi whatever a bronze mirror, and this mirror called Yada no Kagami,
Oh my god.
which is not doesn't. I don't know if this is the Yada mirror or not.
Well,
but
it
I was
is
gonna say it
because
might be-
Kagami means mirror, so it is Yada mirror is what that
Okay,
translates to.
the Yada. Okay, I was gonna say if it was gonna be something different, but I guess they already used that for Itachi.
Well, I mean,
Although they could do it again,
yeah, exactly.
but.
Plus, we never really got it a
Yeah.
lot, and everyone wants it. So
Yeah. What was the next one called?
Takamono Hara no Mikoto.
known for leadership and protection, traits strongly associated with
It's
Sarada.
not
Therefore,
popping up for me here. I don't know how you found that one. I gotta
Yeah.
search that one in general.
Ame no
How do you spell it?
Oshihome
Taka?
is also related to protection, like you were saying. So Yadamir.
Okay, Taka Manohara. Taka Manohara.
No Mikoto.
No, right. No Mikoto. I don't expect them to include the no Mikoto in the name, but they might. A plane of high heaven. Okay.
Well, it doesn't
Japanese
necessarily,
mythology. There we go.
even though it usually is the same name, not all of these are the same name. For example, Sukuna Hikona derives from
Sukuna Bikona is the actual name. Like,
So
they change it slightly sometimes.
yeah,
but-
well, again, it's not just changing it slightly. This does go back to Japanese because he and B use the same Japanese character.
Yeah,
So it's like in some. This is an oversimplification.
the English is gonna. Yeah,
but like
I looked into that too because I was confused.
you know how some of English subtitles call the Uchiha like Uchiwa? It's
Yeah.
it's the same thing there. They just use the same character. Wa and Ha. But yeah.
Okay,
it is possible that
I need
Sarada's
something more
Mangekyo
simple to just figure out stuff about this god.
Sharingan
I don't
will
know why I'm
include a
not just like,
command-based
listening to the
ability
video
similar.
first. I'm just like double checking it at the same time.
Yeah, so it's probably only assuming. I think he will go with these, but assuming he does, it's probably going to be either like a command thing to get rid of or parallel or counter the omnipotence, or it's just going to be like Yadamir or something like that for defense.
Similar to Shisui's Kodo Matsukami, as well as a defensive ability like her uncle's
Or it could
Yadamir.
be both. W video.
Well, the defensive thing I would see being implemented into the Susanoo. So like a shield, like I don't think it's gonna be her Mangekyo ability. That'd be like her Susanoo weapon type of thing. So I would think her actual abilities would probably be, like I said, a fire ability, a space time ability, or a genjutsu type of ability. Would be my guess. I don't think she's gonna have a shield ability. That's just gonna be part of the Susanoo, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Try to look into
Honestly, I think it would just been
This
way
here.
cooler if Itachi never had Yadamir. Just give it to Sarada in the first place.
yeah, well, delay there.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't
I wanna
the
see if they ever
sword
use,
also did
um,
absorption sword?
there's different they're called Kodo Matsukami. Kodo Matsukami isn't a god, he's like a group of gods, kind of, I guess you could say. But we have Takami Musubi no Kami is one of Momoshiki's abilities, but there's another one very similarly named called Kami Musubi no Kami. I wanted to see if they ever use that ability as something. But I'm looking at what he actually does. Oh, they also have the Amatsukami, not just the Kodo Amatsukami.
Ooh.
There's so many. Yeah, there's like so many dang gods. There was one of them that related to fire. I don't remember which one it was. That wasn't Kagutsuchi or Amaterasu. Oh, here's Kojin. Is the god of fire.
Ooh.
Tajin is also a god of fire. Kagutsuchi, the kami of fire. Okay, those are the three fire ones.
Obviously,
So-
we all know the 30-minute explanation of Ishiki's Dharma Wheel Eye and the wishing mallet and all that.
Yeah, I don't think we need to read.
Amado
Look at that.
Sanju with the river. I was trying to shout out a previous stream, but Diego Blizzard, I think is his name. He has a really great Urashiki video where he dives into Urashiki's mythology. I have that posted way up above, but we don't have to get into that right now.
Yeah, I like Urashiki with it. Actually, Urashiki's one is really interesting. There's one of my subscribers. He loves Urashiki too, so we love to talk about Urashiki. Because we were talking about one of the aspects of it. About that we thought was interesting, because the theory she was rolling with was like Urashiki being Amado, because he turns into an old man at the end of the story. But I was like, that one's like kind of like, I don't know, but like, no, there's a lot of stuff with Urashiki though, because there's stuff with the turtle's a big one. The time travel turtle. Obviously the fisherman stuff. But
I mean,
Urashima
Urashiki's a troll.
Taro
I'd
is
be
his name.
totally down for that. Like if Urashiki just never had a daughter, it's just a complete troll.
Like I said, if Urashiki's in the story, I'm down.
Yes.
But going back to fire gods, Kajin or Kojin could be like realistic. Like these are gods of fire.
Well,
It is
Kojin,
highly possible that they take, not Koji, like Kashin Koji. It's Kojin and Kajin, or
I
however you
think that's
pronounce
what
it
the inspiration
properly.
would be from, but
That's possible, but we still have Kajin, unless that's the Kashin Koji. That's funny. But they just changed the names of the two gods of fire for Kashin Koji. Actually, it's not. Kashin Koji is the name of a magician. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I guess the point is, it's possible that she could have an ability called Kajin or Kojin. That's a fire-related ability, like Kagutsuchi. But also, I like this one. Kawaya no Kami. What do you think that is the Kami of? Just guess. It's funny.
cuteness.
No.
What?
He's the Kami of the toilet.
Oh, what is it?
Kawaya no Kami. According to Wikipedia, anyway, is the Kami of the toilet.
Weird. Okay.
I just saw that.
That's
That was funny. Let's look at Amatsu Hikone, the third son of Amaterasu.
The Japanese have so many different names for like the bathroom. I mean, I guess we do too. We have bathroom, washroom, restroom, toilet, etc.
Potty.
Yeah. Latrine.
Yeah, a lot. Outhouse.
I'm done with thinking of these. Gross.
Anyway, actually, I want to know, where's Tsukuyomi on here? I'd like to know, like, does Tsukuyomi have a child? Because we keep talking about Amaterasu's children, but like Tsukuyomi could have a child. That's important. Actually, did I ever ask you? So, what type of ability, just broadly speaking, do you think she'll have? Like, well, she'll have two different types, most likely. Unless she's like Sasuke, where they're both fire related. Which I guess that's actually plausible. Obito's are both space time. Shizui's are both genjutsu. Sasuke's are both fire. Frankly, Itachi's the only one that has unique ways.
Well,
Never thought about that. Actually, yeah.
If we're going with the more likely assumption, or at least the more significant, the one version that should exist, that the Mangekyo abilities aren't just random, that he didn't think this is cool, let's do this for this character, but they're actually like thought of to have like a deeper meaning / symbolism. And like, for example,
Oh yeah, they're going to have a deeper meaning.
yeah, for
Unless
example,
they really want to
like Obito's Kamui is just like escape reality, and that's like what he's trying to do.
Yeah, like yeah.
So I do think both of these potential son abilities could work for Sarada. Not only commanding, it's like a Hokage thing, she wants to be a leader, so have her ability be like the commandment or whatever, to like manipulate omnipotence. So that's the first thing. But then also protection. She wants to protect, as Hokage, she wants to protect all her family, and she wants to protect her family ties and relationships. So then that works as well. So both of these abilities I could see her getting, honestly, like equally.
What were the abilities specifically that he said in the video?
Something similar to Koto Amatsukami that would just counter omnipotence, and then literally just the Yatame.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean that's similar to the exact thoughts I had. I thought like some sort of counter that's genjutsu related. It's basically the same thing would work, and then it also works in another way, but which is the fact that in Naruto the last, like Eido's Senrigan symbol is on one of the flags, and then there's the other flag, which even Sarada's isn't exactly the same either. There is nothing that has been the same as that flag. Frankly, the Tensei God doesn't even have that symbol, so I don't know where it came from.
I think
Sarada's is the closest to it.
Sarada's original Mangekyo design. I'm sure you've seen it. The one that Kishimoto did like 3 years ago.
I have to look it up again and see what it looks like.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sarada's original Mangekyo design.
I don't even know if it. Again, it's pretty hard to see because it's not like focused on Sarada. It's focused on Team 7. But
Where do we get this? Like, what image is this from?
I don't know. Kishimoto definitely drew it. I don't know for what though. Just like shout out.
Do you
Boruto,
have a source of it? Because like, there's like a lot of these fan arts, but I don't know how accurate they are. Do you like? Have you ever seen a picture of it?
Yeah. I saw it actually like a week ago or something. As recently as a week ago.
Are you able to figure out where you saw it?
Right here. It's this one.
All right,
Kishimoto's original art of Team 7. So Boruto has like a new design. You got Sage Mitsuki, and then Sarada with her thing.
Wait, that was Kishimoto's design?
Yes.
Like, is that actually true?
Yes.
He had that chakra aura for Boruto?
Yes. And so
that looks so fake.
Kodachi or Ikimoto, whoever.
I never would have guessed that was real.
No, it's real.
Let me zoom in.
Yeah, so it's really similar to the design we got, Sarada's original Mangekyo design. This is like 3 years old, by the way. Yeah. We still haven't got Boruto's weird KCM looking for him, but yeah.
I mean, it looks the same to me, to be honest.
It's definitely different.
Yeah, Boruto's weird KCM. What's different? Just, I guess the circle looks bigger on the inside.
Yeah, it just looks a little different. Like, I'd have to like side by side comparison, but I can definitely tell it's different just by looking.
Well, in any case, it's not exactly like those war flags, but I mean it's the closest one to it. So symbolically speaking, if Sarada's ability counters Ada's omnipotence, it's kind of like that. But at the same time, though, it doesn't seem like they're going to be going against each other. But maybe that will change. Because Ada herself just decided, like, you know what, I don't want to attack Boruto. But,
yeah, it's definitely a little bit different. The triangles are connected here and also smaller. And yeah, and the pupils are also smaller as well compared to this design.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The triangles are connected. Yeah, it's different but similar.
Yeah. Definitely kept the original vision at least.
But actually, that reminds me, I saw... I don't remember which chat thing it was in, but I saw it on your shared screen a moment ago of the Twitter thing I was talking about. It was basically saying that like
I just pulled it up.
She had the reverse Ishiki eye.
Yeah.
I was like, well, design wise, I don't really agree design wise. Like, I get what they're going for. Where did you post this? Which
I put it in the Discord. And I put it in podcast topics. I'm dumb. Oh no, actually,
that's where. Okay.
I didn't repost it. Yeah, it's just been in there.
No, I was trying to figure out which one it was in because I didn't know. Yeah, it doesn't like. I mean, yeah, I found it already. Yeah. I get the concept they're going for, and I like it because the whole sun and moon thing is like they've kind of been implying it in like so many different characters in Boruto. You've got Shibai's got the two eyes, you know. One eye could be the sun, the other eye the moon. And then you got Boruto versus Kawaki. Boruto's supposed to have the Jougan, which is a moon. So Kawaki's eye being the sun makes sense, but then so does Sarada's eye being the sun makes sense. But Mitsuki is the moon, to Boruto is the sun. It's so funny. They're just going all over the place with that.
I mean, like, every eye is the moon and sun. Like, Damon's eye is technically, you could consider the sun. You got Boruto's Jougan could be considered the sun. Amaterasu's like the sun. This is the sun. Kawaki is the sun. They're all the sun.
Yeah, they're all the sun and moon. But I was going to say, like, I wouldn't say they're actually I mean, if I'm going to be technical, these are not inverted, like, dojutsu designs. That's not actually the case. I get what they're going for, but it's not like actually at all the case. They both have yellow triangles, 8 yellow triangles, and there's the Dharma wheel. Where Ishiki's eye isn't yellow makes the Dharma wheel spokes. It's not like inverted because if the eye was inverted, it would be 8 black triangles with yellow handles.
Yeah.
Like, these are not inverted. These are just 2 different... Like, Sarada's actually looks like a star or sun. Ishiki's doesn't actually look like a sun. We just kind of say that to say like, well, it opposes Boruto's moon, so maybe he is as the sun. That's where the idea comes in. But truthfully, it doesn't actually look like a sun, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, some of these.
Because of how, I mean, really, it's because of how the triangles are going. Maybe that's what they mean by the triangles are inverted, because they're pointed out versus in.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe I just misinterpreted what they're getting at.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of how I interpret it.
Yeah,
The
my bad.
triangles are
Okay,
facing
that's
outwards.
my bad.
Yeah, this is
I
how
thought they
he
meant the
interprets it
eye
as well.
was inverted, not
Yeah.
just the triangles. I thought he meant the entire thing was inverted, not just the triangles.
Well, here, I gave the reader a chance to read it. I'll read it out loud in case someone's not, like, watching the stream, though. Or at least on playback if they're not watching. So, the creator says, when he describes it, just as Ishiki removed the light from Kawaki's life just for his own sake, Kawaki is doing the same as Ishiki. Stole the light from Boruto's life, and Kawaki is just started until he reaches 8 triangles. And he also says, Sarada's Mangekyo pattern is the same as Kawaki's dojutsu, only the triangles are inverted. In Sarada's case, and this is where it's important, the sun is giving away light. Meanwhile, in Kawaki's case, the sun is absorbing the light, which I think is really cool, because Sarada's is like outwards and Kawaki's is like inwards.
Yeah, like I like the concept behind it.
Yeah.
I just don't agree with the one part where he says it's the same, only the triangles are inverted. I don't agree with that. The triangles are inverted, but I don't think it's the same otherwise. If you just swap those triangles around, it doesn't look quite the same, okay? The triangles are a lot smaller. That's the problem.
He also
Like,
says,
the size of Ishiki's triangles actually are the reason why it looks like the Dharma wheel. If you flop Sarada's inside out, it won't look like the Dharma wheel.
yeah, I agree, yeah. He also goes on
Like,
to say,
I'm just gonna say that.
he says, since Boruto is no longer the sun, he's going to become a moon, probably Jougan. Sarada will be his sun to provide light in his dark life. Honestly, I don't think this is wrong, but I don't know if you could correlate it to this, which would be related. I think it is a conspiracy theory, but it's a funny one. It's a fun one. All conspiracy theories are fun.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess the thing about that, though, is it's like, I really don't think the anime should have introduced the Jougan, to be honest, because honestly, now it's kind of just like, whatever causes the Boruto's Jougan to appear now, it's kind of just like weird given how it appeared before, I feel like.
I've been trying to figure out
Because,
the
like,
pattern of consistency for years. There is none.
Well, yeah, because it's like, okay, the New Way thing, we can just say Toneri got involved, New Way is closely associated, whatever. It doesn't matter the reason there. But it appears versus Urashiki, seemingly in response to Urashiki going in and out of dimensions. Well, Code kind of does the same thing with his claw marks. So maybe say, well, Code's not an Otsutsuki. It's just because he's an Otsutsuki. Like when Boruto's Jougan appeared versus Momoshiki. Okay. Well, he didn't do that versus Ishiki. Kawaki is Otsutsuki now. Doesn't do that versus Kawaki. Like, why is it not appearing?
Are you forgetting the most critical time when he awakened it during the field trip arc?
Wait, he did?
Yeah. Yeah. Here, I'll pull it up on stream.
Like versus Shizuma or something?
Yes! Literally, yes.
Really? I forgot that. He actually awakens it then?
Yeah, when he's doing the Boruto stream.
Okay, hold on a second. If he can just awaken it then, why does he even need... What? Why is it not awakening all the time?
I don't know. What is this? That's still New Way thing. This is a terrible video if this isn't showing it right. I don't think it is. Yeah, that's not correct at all. I could probably look at Boruto versus... What's the name? Shizuma? That'd probably pull it up.
Shizuma, yeah.
Boruto versus Shizuma. That is a minute 50. Sure. In fact, I'm gonna mute it for copyright and fast forward like this.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk over it the entire time.
And I'm fast forwarding.
Only saying we're...
Dark.
words that are very much about the video we are watching. We are describing and commenting on Takara's hair and that girl's hair and that person's hair and Boruto's hair. And now we have the Crunchyroll symbol. And now we have the press play and Boruto and Mitsuki are there. Boruto and Mitsuki again. Boruto looks kind of weird. Boruto says you're wrong because Shizuma was wrong. Now we're looking. Oh, we don't need to comment. I think this is our longest podcast yet in total by far.
Yeah, by far. Yeah, we reached that point a minute ago. Here. Yay! There it is. What do you know?
Okay.
Literally.
Oh my goodness.
Barely for a second.
What the hell?
What's the context?
Why is it appearing here? What is Shizuma Otsutsuki? Like, why is it appearing for...
Maybe Samehara has
Yeah, look
some,
at that guy. That guy's Otsutsuki right there.
It's the Samehara.
Like, yeah, Samehara's actually an Otsutsuki tool.
Samehara Otsutsuki. It's a theory now.
Dude, you know what? I support it. I like Samehara. Underutilized.
Yeah,
Somebody needs to just go grab Samehara and start using it.
Why is Code trying to feed Boruto to the Ten Tails? Just feed Samehara to the Ten Tails.
Yeah. It's gonna work. The Ten Tails are probably stronger. Think about how many times Samehara's absorbed chakra. Think about how much chakra is stored in that thing.
What if Samehara is just straight up like Shibai? Like, that's what happened to his corpse. That's what happens when Otsutsuki.
I was gonna say, what if Samehara was like the Ten Tails, like a mini divide tree? But I like that. He's just Shibai. He likes chakra so much because he's trying to like restore his form.
Shibai used Omnipotence wrong. Just turned him into that in a fever.
Yeah. Yeah, he was bored and he's like, I want to give myself a challenge. He turned himself into a sword to see if he could overcome it.
Oh my gosh. It makes sense, yeah. And that explains why Sword is alive. Omnipotence. There you go.
Actually, before I ask my next question, okay, so we've got Omnipotence, creation of all things, and then this hypothetical Ishiki's wish-granting ability, all of which sound like they're not the same jutsu, but they all kind of do the same thing. Do you think Ishiki's wish-granting ability was Omnipotence? Like, was it the same thing? Or is it different? Like, do you think it's a different ability?
That's a good question. I could totally...
Because it's heavily implied that it's an ability of Ishiki, because, like, it's involved in in Ishinboshi mythology, Daikokuten at the wish-granting mallet, the 8 Siddhis powers that mostly inspire Ishiki's abilities includes the granting wishes ability. Amy talks about granting wishes, so it's like very, very heavily implied. Like, this is something Ishiki could do. Is it like, I'm like, but it's like the same thing. It sounds like.
Well,
it's the will to make anything real. So I'm like, is it a different ability or not?
I will say, Amado also assumes that he's just like lying, because again, if like we've been saying for years, and like Amado said, if Jougan does get his way, the world is destroyed. So then all of Kara just dies. Like, Kara's being sacrificed to Ten too. All life on the planet, so. Yeah. So.
Yeah, like, well, it's not about whether or not he was going to keep his promise. It's just like, could he have kept his promise?
That's assuming... Okay, so assuming it
Amado just says he doesn't even know how he planned to do it. But Amado also doesn't seem to know that Ada had this ability known as Omnipotence. Unless he was just pretending not to know. Which is possible in that case, then he already knew how Ishiki would have done it. So he'd be lying there too.
So
I mean, like he's either just pretending in both cases, or in neither case, he just doesn't know. But
so Ishiki's plan was to feed himself to the Ten Tails and revive through Kawaki. But hang on, but he was in Jigen's body, and again, he couldn't really implant he did later implant a karma on him. I'm guessing it fully extracted. But, like, was he going to feed an imperfect vessel version of himself to the Ten Tails? And would that have worked the way he wanted it to? I'm confused. I don't know.
I guess he assumed it would have worked. It just might not have been the best fruit. Like he thought, like, oh, Boruto would be a better fruit, but like at the time he didn't know we had that option.
I mean, at that
So he
point,
was just gonna do like, well, this is the best I've got.
then Code would work as a sacrifice for Ten Tails.
Well, Code isn't Otsutsuki.
No, he's not. He's not.
He didn't have it. He doesn't have Otsutsuki DNA.
The only thing you could say that he is an Otsutsuki, because again, his karma doesn't extract. He's genetically not Otsutsuki. The only thing you can say is that he has Shibai's DNA. But I don't think that would necessarily
for Code
grant him.
Well, we don't know if he has Shibai's DNA or not, because
Amado
honestly,
Amado says the claw marks are Shinji.
You know, he doesn't actually say Code has Shibai's DNA though. That's the thing that's weird about it. He just says, in addition to Ada and Damon's abilities, Ko's claw marks are also Shinjutsu. And then in response to Naruto asks about, like, they're talking about Ada and Damon, and then he says, you know, how did you make such ridiculous abilities? And he says, oh, I didn't make them. I just transplanted Shibai's DNA, blah, blah, blah. He never straight up says Ko's claw marks come from Shibai. It's heavily implied that's the case, but then you get into the next question, which is what I don't get, is if Code hypothetically had Shibai's DNA, just like Ada and Damon, and he had this white karma seal that either comes from Ishiki's chakra or Shibai's chakra or whoever's chakra, but it's a power boost on top of that, why is he so dramatically weaker than Ada and Damon? Like, why are they such a way higher level if Code had the same thing plus more? I found that really odd. So that's why I said, okay, well, maybe he doesn't have Shibai's DNA. He just has, like, Shibai's chakra in the white karma seal. It was enough to give him the Code's claw marks, but it's not as powerful as the DNA or some shit.
Well, yeah, that's
because I'm like, I don't know, like, it's kind of weird.
I think something similar is that Code just has less DNA. So, for example, Code only has one Shinjutsu, whereas both Damon and Ada have multiple abilities. So they just got.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's possible he just gave him less Shibai stuff.
Plus, Code specifically doesn't want to be strong because he specifically went out of his way to limit himself.
Yeah, but like that was why he got the limiters. The unlimited Code is still way weaker than Damon. So like, I don't think that was like, oh, don't give me more. I think they was just like whatever, and he got limited. But
I mean, if Shibai is really this strong in order to make Damon seemingly a nobody stronger than unlimited Code, then I think just a little bit more of Shibai DNA would have done it.
I mean, I guess that's true, yeah. Well, at the end of the day, what it boils down to is I'm under the impression that the white karma seal is just kind of a sham by Amado. We'll see if that changes. It could have just been an accident, all Ishiki, no Amado, whatever. But I like the idea that it has to do with Shibai, and he just has less of Shibai's chakra and power than Damon and Ada. Probably because he might not have his DNA, but I don't know if he has his DNA or not.
This is also when he's explaining him putting it on Kawaki. So he does say he is a mere human, not a god. So assuming he's not lying, I'm guessing he putting on scientifically the same way Jougan did, rather than like randomly placing it on Boruto's hand like Momoshiki did.
Oh yeah. Amado didn't just like touch Code and implant karma on him. Like if he did anything, it would have been like messing up Jigen's karma transfer, where he did something that kind of messed it up. That would be all he would have done there. But
okay,
yeah, I don't know. Because I still think it would be weird if like Code had Ishiki's chakra on his white karma seal, and then he also had Shibai's DNA. It's like, okay, why really? Like, why is he that way weaker? So but actually, because I'm noticing a picture of it, why do you think Boruto's horn looks the way it does?
We'll get into that when Rain joins. That's his theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is his theory that Momoshiki is Shibai in disguise, or was it different?
That's part of his theory. So his theory is that Momoshiki never took control of Boruto after Boruto got the scar. He thinks that was... Well, I'm not going to ruin his theory, but we'll get into it. It's crazy. Just from the little I've heard.
You think that was Shibai?
It's crazy. He'll get into it. I don't know it exactly myself.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
But something here that's interesting, he's not talking about karma, but he is talking about the crafting of abilities. So let's just rearrange this to how I think he's saying it. So making Shinjutsu is a feat permitted only to gods. So did Shinjutsu exist before the gods and they just so happen to inherit it? Or did they themselves create the Shinjutsu, kind of like how Tobirama invented Edo Tensei?
It depends on whether it just comes from the Ten Tails at the end of the day, which it kind of is implied that's at least like the Rinnegan comes from the Ten Tails. So they might not have created it. They might have just kind of stole it.
Okay.
But
and then finally,
that's kind of contradictory though. Like so they're parasites back at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Amado calls Otsutsuki parasites in chapter 45. But now he's calling them gods.
Well, maybe he's
Why
talking
did he
about
change his mind?
gods in general, and maybe there's gods out there that aren't Otsutsuki.
Okay, maybe, I guess, yeah.
But he also hasn't said anything.
But
about
also,
that, which
also Amado's a little bit capping here. The crafting of abilities is a feat permitted only to gods. Okay. Tobirama's a god. He crafted an ability. Amado's a god because he crafted Boru's virus and Victor's regeneration.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that I think when he means abilities,
Minato's a god. He created the Rasengan. Yeah.
That's just how I'm interpreting that.
Yeah, that he meant like the crafting of Shinjutsu
again,
is a
he's
feat
talking
permitted.
about karma here, and karma is a Shinjutsu.
Well, actually, he's not talking about karma. He's talking about Ada and Damon's abilities, but
is he? I think this is when he's talking about when he put.
Yeah, this is Naruto asks. I've been meaning to ask you, Amado, how did you create such abilities, such crazy abilities? And he says, develop wouldn't be accurate.
Okay, that's fair.
But still, I mean, those are Shinjutsu according to Amado and everyone else. Which actually, this is another side note I find really interesting. So Momoshiki sees Code fighting with claw marks, which are Shinjutsu. And he doesn't question that they're Shinjutsu after Amado says it, like he does Ada's love charm. Why wasn't Momoshiki like surprised to see these things? Let's say it comes from Shibai. Like, why wasn't Momoshiki like, hold on, why does he give Shibai's ability? Like,
what do you mean?
He did not give a shit.
Okay.
He did not even think about it.
Well, the reason he was surprised at Ada is because he didn't know Omnipotence as a Shinjutsu, which also is a evidence.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just surprised. Like Amado was like talking about like, I know that, but like Amado was just like talking about how like, oh yeah, I got these from Shibai. I feel like, but he didn't know about any of that before when he saw Code and his abilities. And I feel like he should have been like a little bit surprised, like that Code has Shibai's or Otsutsuki's ability.
Well, not only does Momoshiki think, so we know it's reliable that he's not saying it to Boruto, he actually just thinks it, I guess, out loud when Boruto hears it, because their thoughts are emerging or whatever. But Momoshiki basically truthfully states that he knows all Shinjutsu. So that alone, we don't know all Shinjutsu, so he already knows more than we do. But also, like chapter 79, when he's talking to Boruto, he says offhandedly, like, "Oh, do you really think this is the first time the gods have used omnipotence to change humans?" So he clearly knows more than we do. He
It's
probably
so
knows
weird.
something about Shibai that we don't as well.
Yeah. Well, he spoke very strangely about Shibai. He said like he was an Otsutsuki. Like he's not an Otsutsuki anymore.
So, by the way, Amado's statement here that he transplanted things that already exist, referring to abilities that were crafted by gods, this would imply that Shibai did indeed create the Shinjutsu rather than them being like inherited or already existing.
Yeah, the whole crafting thing is weird. Like he just said, you know what? I think Daikoku 10 would be a cool jutsu. I'm gonna create it. Like,
yeah.
Is that what he did?
I mean, that's what it seems to be. That also means there's a possibility that Boruto and Kawaki, if they become gods or like future gods, could just make new Shinjutsu. But it's also weird because then how would Momoshiki know all Shinjutsu? Unless they just haven't been invented in a while.
You just had like an update, like, oh, Shibai created another one. like was Shibai just like sent him a call? He sent him a text message. Oh, by the way, I created this new one. Here's how it works. Like, how does Momoshiki even know this?
Maybe that's why they all have such weird long names. Is because they've already made names for all the normal ones. It's like the 3 millionth one they've made.
Well, it's just because Kishimoto's naming them after gods, but they have really long names. Like Urishiki's Ameno, Boshino, how does that go? Ameno, Boshino, Mino, Kodo, Yoku, whatever. It's a really long name anyway.
Well, anyways, here's a really interesting thing, somewhat on topic, but it's kind of a previous topic. Again, because Amado is a mere human, not a god, and we know that implanting karma is a Shinjutsu, first of all, something that he shouldn't have access to, even though he says he can restore it or whatever you could say. But, so assuming he even has the ability to, does he really? Because how? Because we know that implanting a karma is quote-unquote no easy feat, or whatever they say. So it takes a tremendous amount of energy, as Amado describes it. So how did Amado, as a mere human, have the tremendous energy / chakra required in order to implant karma, regardless if he's just restoring?
Well, that's where I was thinking, like, I don't think he's like implanting it. He's just like, we don't know what he did specifically. But, like, that's just why I want them to explain it. Because I can, like, come up with an idea, but then it doesn't really make sense. Because I was going to say, well, let's just say hypothetically, he took the fact that Kawaki had 80% of Shiki's DNA inside of him, so then he just took those cells and did something. Well, then he could have just done that with a Shiki in general. So that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, so
and then,
right here.
Like, so it's like, what did he do?
He didn't have enough energy for it. So by the way,
actually that goes into it.
He did implant karma on Jougan like 1,000 years before Amado existed with all the scientific tech. So that means Ishiki is able to use. He's just able to implant karma just like normal, just like Momoshiki seemingly. Because he did it like seemingly from inside.
She was going to do it on Kawaki.
Yeah, that too. That's a good point. So why did he even do it the scientific way? Like, was it supposed to increase?
Well, that's why I came up with my theory that once he has implanted karma on a vessel, he can't do it again. Like, I know they have that weird thing which is also very strange, that he mentioned where like they have the karma rule that like prevents multiple vessels from reincarnating because the other vessels lose their karma. So it kind of implies that like Otsutsuki can have multiple vessels given that. But I was going to say maybe he couldn't actually make another karma when he had a vessel. But that's where Amado comes in. I don't know why there'd be the karma rule at that point, because it was never relevant.
Interestingly, I understand that they're all like stuck up and snobby and like arrogant and all this. But you would think that if you had a contingency plan, you would just always have it available. Like Momoshiki, Kinshiki, Urishiki, all the Shikis would have had a karma seal implanted on some other planet a million years ago, just in case they do happen to die of anything ever.
Yeah, because they're so fixated on not dying. Like,
so Momoshiki should have never even implanted a karma.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
He should have just revived somewhere else.
Yeah, and come back and be like, ha ha ha.
Same with literally.
Which actually, I know a lot of people, like, there's still the whole question of, like, does Momoshiki now still have his powers he inherited from Kinshiki, or did he lose it? Like,
I'm a
he doesn't look the same.
No, I have no idea. That's one of the theories.
Yeah, I know some people think that he just didn't have enough energy to, like, manifest all of it into his karma, so it just was like kind of base Momo amount of energy, not the whole thing. But it's like that's still kind of weird, like because it's like, well, why did he look different? Like
his soul is still normal base, but like he also does have the broken horns, so we know that applies. But it is his soul.
Yeah, that's what's weird. Like his horns. I mean, the manga doesn't show this, but in the anime, we see his horns breaking during the Rasengan clash. So it's like kind of like, okay, that's probably when his horns broke, and he stays that way. But then his Rinnegan's not. Yo, why are his horns still broken, but not his Rinnegan hand? He used his Rinnegan hand in chapter 67.
Good point.
There's no kunai still there.
Well, does he even have Rinnegan in the soul version of himself?
Yeah, his hand had a Rinnegan on it.
Okay. I will not be able to.
It's in chapter 67.
I won't be able to find it right now, but yeah. This is a good thumbnail. I'm gonna save this as a thumbnail.
I mean, I can pull it.
Okay.
I can pull it up, like tell you what page it's on, but it's when he says he resuscitated Boruto with karma, and then he whips out his Rinnegan hand. And I'm pretty sure that's the hand that got stabbed. Looks like it's on page 34.
Man, Trippy's gonna come back and be like, "What did I miss?" Like, what? How are you still going?
Yeah, it looks like several hours of content.
Yes.
But yeah, his Rinnegan's fine.
On his hand? You said chapter 67, page 34?
Yeah, that's what it says on this anyway.
I'll see it in a
Oh yeah, here, let me just share my screen.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't share my screen because you're doing it.
Let me really quickly just finish this. There we go. That looks close enough to how it was. Save. Gosh darn it. There. Yes. Okay. Go for it.
I was trying to look at your thumbnail there with Momoshiki and Jougan. Wait, can you see my thing now or what?
Not yet.
Hold on. Figured it. Go live.
By the way, shout out to Dux, who is either asleep or the most hardcore dedicated person ever. Oh, I see that.
He never hopped in, so I don't know if he's even actually watching, or he just has it playing in the background. But can you see this right here where I'm circling?
Can you zoom in? Why is it so tiny? That's not how it usually
Yeah,
looks.
I noticed that too. Yeah, it does look tiny, but I don't see any scars.
That's so weird.
Let's look up how he looks in the previous chapter.
Yeah.
This is clearly on Fizz, by the way, guys. It says Fizz online.
Oh, maybe.
See, this hand here is his release hand. So the glove hand is the release hand, by the way. The hand that got stabbed was his right hand. That's the one he whipped out earlier.
Okay.
I don't think we see it. Well, actually, he might hold it up when he's gonna absorb Kinshiki. Oh, he's holding it wrong. Oh, there we go. It does look small in that image.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably just an art inconsistency.
I mean, I think it's just Ikimoto.
Oh,
art
actually, scroll up a little
there.
bit. Does he have Momoshiki's eye through the finger, or is that just coincidence? Oh, I think it's just coincidence.
Wait, what?
Top right panel. If you scroll up, up, right there. Let's scroll. Right, top right, right. Yeah, right next to the Shikine.
Where are you looking?
Right below the Shikine, but to the right. His pointer finger. It kind of looks like an eye, where his eye would be, but I was wrong. where his eye would be.
wait.
Yeah, the like shading thing on
I think I
his
see what you're saying.
Yeah, the,
It looks like his
digit.
eye is
Yeah,
on the
that
finger.
right there. Yeah.
Honestly, that is hilarious, dude. I see it now. I noticed it. It kind of looks like he's winking, but
Like if you just kind
That's
of don't
hilarious.
look at it, it just looks like a derp face.
yeah, well, that's pretty funny. Yeah, his fingers even have eyes. Look at Momoshiki eating his dad. Yum, tasty.
I still don't.
Oh, here's the infamous scene. Swords don't work on Momoshiki's neck, but kunais do on his hand.
It would have been really funny if instead of Jougan using the rods to stop Sasuke's sword, which by the way, like you were saying earlier, Ishiki can't shrink the rod, so he can't grow the rod, so it wouldn't have happened anyways. But it would have been really funny if instead of doing that, he's like, "What are you doing? You know this doesn't work."
Yeah, he's just so sorry. Too late again. He just repeats Momoshiki's like, "Or how do I end the stream?" I'm sharing.
The green button.
Well, it didn't do anything.
Oh, let's try it. Oh, bottom right. Open that. Yeah, the white button on the bottom. Yeah, the white. Yeah, there.
There we go.
My explanation is very helpful.
All right, I have 1% on my right earbud.
Okay, really quickly, because I thought it would be really hilarious. I've been planning this for like the past 4 hours. I never did an intro. Let's do an intro followed up by the outro, and that's gonna look really funny in the chapter time scams. So what did you do this week? Did anything crazy happen to you?
Still healing my injury, pissing me off. Made a video on the weekend. I still need to script my next one. Been taking forever to do that. Probably gonna be about Sarada's Mangekyo, either her abilities or something theme related. And then got some Shibai videos to make. And then after that, I'm just gonna go with the flow. How about you?
Well, with the 3-month break, I should be able to make a video or 2 or 4 or 5 of Boruto with the extra time. I want to catch up on the Sasuke Retsuden. I don't know if you were here for that, but I haven't seen any of Sasuke Retsuden because I was waiting for the manga to end.
Yeah, I was here for that. I haven't seen it either.
Oh, this is fun. This is very interesting. I don't know if you saw, but I messaged Kawaki's voice actor. And I haven't.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I thought he was going to be the guest. When you said you might have a guest, I thought that's who you might have.
I do want to invite him. I actually
Brute.
didn't invite him. I only was like, hey, False Perfections is cool. You should be on it. And he's like, yeah, I'll be on it. In fact, I'll give you a better rate than normal because you're cool. So he'll be in False Perfections for cheap. There you go. I'm going to have Kawaki's voice. I just don't have a character to actually be the voice acted participant version of him, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you'll just create a character that will sound like Kawaki.
Yes. So that's cool. I'll talk to him some more.
What about you, Trippy? Oh, wait. He laughed.
Oh my god. He's probably still awake too.
And on that note, my other earbuds all messed up.
Well, good intro. You want to do the outro?
Yeah, so on that note, guys, it was wonderful introducing ourselves, and now I'm afraid, now that you know who we are and what we did this week, we're not going to tell you what we're going to do next week, because you don't need to know that. You can wait a week.
Actually,
in the meantime, though,
because I want to tell you, because I want to get it to it this time, but we're definitely not getting to it this time. All these other topics. I had a lot to say.
Oh my god, dude, I was like, and of course we turned this, like, dude, I'm getting my throat
really quick,
talking
really quick.
so much.
My war in your comment section. Comment on that.
Oh, dude, what is it? It was so funny. I had to explain in my Discord because I'm gonna go back and look for it.
Did people comment on it?
So okay, yeah. He said it was the guy who's on the comment that you said my favorite comment to. So this is what he said in Discord. He said, "Who is sweet dude, and why are they not so sweet?" But I said he's trolling. That's Oodie who's on my podcast channel. He said he's gonna argue with every single comment, and the one under yours is gonna be dying. He said, "Oh, Okay, for some reason I thought he was serious.
That's so great.
And so my favorite comment was on his underdogs there, where you said, see if I can find it, honestly.
Oh, I got so many notifications on that. I got like a good 50 notifications on that. It's crazy.
This is gonna be so hard to find. It was one of the earlier ones. Maybe if I scroll to the bottom.
Yeah, if I scroll way down, it's still only one day ago. Okay, here we go. At least some hearts on this one. Can you check who's commented the most on your channel? Because I bet it's me, just based on like the past few videos of me going to every comment.
I don't know if there's any way to check that.
Probably not. I know
I'm so behind in the comments though.
At least on mobile, anyone can click on like anyone's profile in the comments and see their activity on the channel. But I don't know if it says the number of comments. It just you can see all the comments.
Oh, their activity? I don't.
Yeah, I don't know if it happens all the time.
I've never done that.
Let me try it really quick while I'm here.
I just noticed this comment. This is why you explaining manga. That's kind of what I do on this channel.
It does work.
Yeah,
oh, it works.
So many...
Do you have your phone on you?
Wait 1 second. I'm responding to some of these.
Okay, that's fine.
You said to turn the music down. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. It sounded quiet while I was editing it, so I don't even know what happened. This is true. When I was editing my chapter review, it did not sound that loud to me. Like I turned it up because it sounded so quiet, and then I posted the video and I listened to it, and I was like, what the hell? How did the music get so loud?
Oh my god.
So I'm starting to think I need to just like post in my like audio into like whatchamacallit, my Discord, so that way people can just tell me if it's loud or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, I cannot find this comment you had. But anyway, he said something about like just keep up the good work or something, and then you said like why are you assuming he won't keep up the good work?
They're like, why are you expecting the quality to drop, hater?
Yeah, it was so funny. Like, you're just assuming the quality will drop. And I thought it was hilarious.
His replies are like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, he was so confused. That one just had me cry. There was another one that was pretty good too, but that one was my favorite.
A lot of these are really good, yeah. Just the way
it was funny, like going through and like looking at how people would respond. A lot of them they just didn't say anything, but unless they did later on.
Yeah, like
a lot of people were so mad about like the chapter review, like and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, this always kills me. Okay, I gotta read this. So like I know I do troll voiceovers like for certain manga characters, and it's like the whole point is I'm trolling the voice. Like they're not supposed to sound good. They're meant to sound like stupid. And most people will comment like things like how they thought it was hilarious and they love it. That's the point. But then you always get the few that say like, please stop doing these. I'm sorry. They're just not like, they're terrible. Your normal voice is good. And then I explain to them like, just so you know, they're meant to be bad. They're meant to make you laugh. And that's why I get so many comments. And then you know how they always respond? Oh, okay, I completely understand. They're pretty funny. And I'm like, do you think they're funny or not? Like, I'm like, I feel like they're just like saying that now, but I'm like, yeah, that's the point is they're supposed to be bad.
In some sense, I kind of felt bad for Daigo Knights earlier when Sauron was calling him out for using a weird voice sometimes. I was like, oh man. I mean.
Well, yeah, I was like, I mean, it was pretty obvious to me he was making fun of it.
Yeah, like he wasn't sexually panting or whatever. He was trying to sound like a sad Sarada. That was the point.
Yeah. I think he was just yeah, he was just kind of like trolling like the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm very confused about this comment. Says, I'm just happy you don't write. It's easy to criticize. What is easy to criticize specifically? And I never once
I found it.
said I wanted to be a writer anyway.
Awesome video as always, Kamui. Hand emoji, smile emoji. Keep up the great work. What do you mean by keep it up? Why do you expect the quality to drop? Do you really disrespect him so much that you don't have faith in his skills at creating quality content?
And then he's like, no, that's not what I meant. Whatever. Like, well, just read the thread.
Nope, not what I meant at all. It's on you for misinterpreting what I'm saying, buddy. And then I say, I'm not your buddy, pal. I gotta throw that in there anytime it comes up. Oh, yeah, this is the guy. He says it in the comment section, too. I was wondering why I had seen it. He says, for a sweet dude, you're not very sweet, friend. Literally, all I did was compliment the video and say, good job as always, and you proceed to pick a fight. Laughing emoji. Oh, and then you say something like, this was my favorite comment of yours, lol. And then I reply back to him like, haha, Kamui chose my side over yours. That means I won, which means you lost. You gotta cry about it to
I didn't read that part.
Oh, God. It's all caps. I have one of the question marks as a slash on purpose. It's so perfect. God.
Okay, this is another one. I'm just going through some of these comments. I got like 200,000 probably to catch up on, but sometimes this like, I'm like, you guys are really just like taking this too far. So, for example, this one guy said, "Bro, Momo doesn't have a deep voice," and I said, "Gawa, damn it, like GAWD, damn it, guys." I was like, you didn't like the because Momoshiki in the English dub has a very different voice from the English subbed. So like I used to do a troll more like the English dubbed, and I said, well, you guys didn't like that, so I switched to something deeper like the subbed, and now you're complaining it's too deep. And then anyway, some other dude, I just noticed this, said it's God, like G-O-D, not God, G-A-W-D. We should not profane this title even if it was a joke, because we should not make fun of the title God. That's a sin. I was like, dude, I'm only saying it just to lighten the heart of it. So I'm not saying like, God damn it. I'm like producing, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, dude, how are you taking it this way? Or like, I remember like, this is so stupid, dude. I'm sorry. When I made my Shibai video and I said like Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, I said like they're the main three like of the Hindu gods. And I said, like, so they're the big dogs. And, like, one person, like, took it so offensively. I was like, dude, that's not an insult. I'm saying, like, they're the big three.
God, I just love some of my comments on these. Like, the use of capital letters, the, like, 4 to 6 question marks instead of 1. The same with periods and exclamation points. And the blunt directness of them. So ridiculous. Like, I demand proof, and like I'm like, duh, when it's something is somewhat maybe plausible or obvious. I'm asking for timestamps or it didn't happen when they refer to something in the video. Like, this dude's happy to see you finally got a sponsor. Timestamp or it didn't happen.
Oh yeah. Some of these yeah, I don't know. It was pretty funny. He just got really creative. And holy moly, how many comments do I have? I feel like if I don't look at the freaking, actually, this has become more of a new problem than it ever used to be. But like when I see like 500 comments, it's like really hard to be like, all right, I'm gonna go answer them. Like once I get behind on it, it's like, oh my god, there's so many. I'll never catch up. And it's just growing and growing.
I can totally check how many comments I did just by going to a different one of my accounts and then going to you and then going to your comment and then looking for me. Oh, this is going to be so easy. I'm going to tell you how many comments I've left.
What was the thing on the phone you were saying I can do to see like activity or something?
You mean what I'm doing right now?
Yeah, to see like who's the most, or I guess you probably never figured out.
No, I'm doing it right now. Face. Okay, this is probably gonna be very blurry and not at all work, but it's on your phone. If you go to the comment section, it kind of does work actually. I'm gonna scroll down to my comment again. You cannot be on your logged in account. It has to be on a different account so that, like, basically I can click on any of these accounts and see their like account history on your account. I just can't do it from my own account. So if I log into a different account and then I can click on my own account to see. So I would just like, not the comment itself, because then it would make me reply. If I click on my like profile picture.
Yeah, I'm clicking at some of these. I can see like one comment, one received, nothing like super in depth.
Yeah. So
I can see some of the ones they commented on though. Recent comments on this channel.
In general, it says I joined YouTube with this account 7 years ago. I have 471 subscribers. Interesting how it shows that, even though that's not even related. It shows all of my subscriptions randomly as well. Shows recent comments on this channel, but most importantly, it says on this channel 365 comments. It also, I have 41 hearts received. I'm a public subscriber, and I have some badge. Top commenter received one of the highest number of hearts from Kamui. How sweet.
You're a top commenter, baby.
So, once again, this video in total, including me, has 476 comments. In total, I have on your channel 365 comments.
That is so funny.
Oh my god.
365 comments. I want to see if you have the most. I don't know if I can, though.
I don't know if it's possible.
Actually, you definitely don't. There's one guy named, like, Oni something who's commented, like, and also Scotty Foster. They've left so many comments on like videos. They're just going back and they like spams comments like all over the place. They've got to have more. Let me look at Scotty Foster here. Oh, it only says 85 comments, really?
I'm like, say 8 times that. Or like 4 times that.
I want to find the other guy. No, dude, it's so hard to find a freaking comment. This is so complicated.
What's their name again?
And I have, oh my god, dude. If I just scroll through my YouTube studio and just look at all these comments, like I haven't gone to, let's see how far behind I am. I feel so bad about this. This all started with that Damon video. This is how this all happened because there was the Damon video and then there was the chapter 79 spoilers where I went to sleep after or something. And then there was like a ton of comments. I have as old as a month that I haven't gone to.
You don't want to have what happened to Naruto Explains original channel. If you comment too much, the YouTube algorithm thinks you're a bot and shuts down your channel.
Yeah, I heard that and that really scared me. I do leave I legitimately have always done this. I literally look at every comment and leave like a unique reply to it.
Yeah, I do think
so,
that is a thing.
I don't know. Huh?
I'm pretty sure he just copied and pasted a reply template and just spammed it over the course of a very short amount of time. And so
that's what I'm thinking. He was just repeating comments. Like I actually like respond to the comment like very specifically.
Yeah.
Like so I don't know if they would think I'm a bot, like and then they think I'm one creative ass bot then. But I don't know. I don't really know what goes through the YouTube algorithm's head on that end.
Could have been anything. It could have been something completely different. Maybe he even got reported for something. But again, like, it kind of makes sense that he would do that because he's really, like, the most corporate business style YouTuber, I would say, of all the channels.
Maybe ABD too, but...
Yeah, that's fair.
They do more businessy style, which is what Mello very much seems to want to do on our other channel.
Yeah.
But
I would definitely say it's Naruto Explained. Not only does he watch what's his name? And I watch him too, but like only a little bit.
In the background, anyways. He watches. Oh, I don't have a subscriber on this channel. I can't change the accounts because I don't stop the stream. What's his name? The YouTube algorithm guy. What's his name? What's his name? He's black. He lives in Atlanta. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But Naruto Explains follows him. His channel name is literally Naruto Explains. Like, it's not something unique. It's literally the most SEO thing imaginable, probably.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, it's a perfect name, though.
The fact that he has daily videos, editors, I mean, editor isn't necessarily the thing, but, like, daily videos, it's pretty recyclable or, like, evergreen content. What is all this random nonsense? What did they change YouTube last I checked? Okay, here we go.
Wait, what do you mean?
Nothing. I'm on my phone looking at stuff.
Oh.
Trying to find the name of this person. Man, this would really help if I wouldn't subscribe to like 700 different people. My worst fear is scrolling past it because I scrolled too fast. But I'm looking alright. But yeah, no, he definitely, I would say he treats it the most like a business, even though he doesn't, well, he just uses a lot of business practice. He still is, like, personable, but, like, I feel like that's still second to him trying to satisfy the algorithm. He does make content he cares for. He just definitely always algorithm first, I think.
I think, well, he makes videos to make videos. Like, I mean, that's what it is. Like, most of his videos, I mean, honestly, I haven't been watching for quite a while partly because of this, it got to a point where I just didn't care about the fan theories. But, like, most of his videos are, unless that's changed recently, they're just his Patreon fan theories. I don't know if that's, like, still the case, but that's been the case for a while. And then he has the manga reviews, episode reviews, and occasionally his own theory. But I can't remember the last time he really proposed his own theory that wasn't like somebody else's.
But even like the title and thumbnail is clearly like businessy, I would argue.
Yeah.
And the description's all algorithmy. And then I mean, obviously sponsorships, but that I don't know if that would necessarily count in this per se. Not like as a bad thing.
Actually, does he do sponsorships like every video now, or no?
Like if not every video, pretty much every video. Like over half, I would say at least.
What kind of like video, like sponsorships? Is it like the like, go check out the anime clothing stuff, or is it more like the one I did in my last video?
He does a couple. What's really weird is he did the landlord sponsorship scam one, and he kept doing it like a long time. He might still be doing it even. But like everyone outed the lord people as scams because you don't actually become a lord, and he just kept doing it.
No.
And by the way, I totally did scroll past it, and now I'm having to look again for the guy that he looks at, watches, whatever. The YouTube guy. You know what? There's probably a faster way of finding him. Just search on YouTube how to get to 1,000 or 10,000 subs. Sure. Roberto Blake, and I thought of it 2 seconds before I saw his name. Look at me. I'm a genius.
Don't know how my brain worked, but it did like that somehow. So there you go. Roberto Blake. In fact, I would blame, and I'm going to use the word blame, I would blame Roberto Blake for being the reason Naruto Explained transformed his content to be more algorithmy. Even though it's Naruto Explained's choice, he sort of like went out of his way to incorporate the teachings of Roberto Blake. So take that.
I don't know what this Roberto Blake's teachings are. Let's look him up.
Yeah, sure, might as well.
Do this to become blah blah blah.
Yeah. So you can definitely tell immediately what this is.
I mean, like, I don't really use a lot of. I mean, there's certain things like I've looked at and like tried to implement, but for the most part, like a lot of the stuff just didn't do anything for me. Like the main thing that I've implemented that I can kind of see a little bit of an effect from, there's like, I guess there's two, or I'll even say three. One, just better thumbnails. Like I hired a thumbnail editor. Like click-through rates have increased. I try to just, instead of doing like, what's up guys, welcome back to Kamui Dimension or whatever, like quite a while ago, I just switched to just getting into the video.
Yeah.
And that does seem to help with like the number of people still watching 30 seconds in. That's a metric you can look at.
That's huge.
And then like with my titles, I stopped trying to hit a lot of keywords, to be honest. And I kind of just switched to like, I don't know, just what do I think would be a good title that might be algorithm-y, but I stopped like searching vidIQ and trying to do something with a title. Like I just stopped doing that, and that worked better for me. So
yeah,
I guess that's the main three things for me, but I don't really know what I'm doing at the end of the day. I don't know what makes a certain video just pop off way more other than like people being more interested in it.
Yeah, at this point on, I think none of the channels I'm currently active on do I want them to be big, rather than I want to make the videos that I want to make at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I just make video, like I base my videos mostly on what I have something to say on. Now there's some stuff I purposely am waiting on until my channel's bigger, but that's just like, at the end of the day, I care more about having an in-depth analysis on like Pain's character or Obito's character, or the symbolisms of their Mangekyo Sharingan abilities, like things I think are really cool. I'm like, I want people to see those. I might as well cover the ongoing stuff now while my channel grows, and then when my channel's bigger, then I can come back to old stuff. That's kind of the approach I'm taking. But otherwise, it's just like I don't make a video just because I'm like, if I don't know what I want to say yet, I wait the 2 weeks until I know what I want to say.
Yeah, so specifically, like you were saying, on the content you want to make, basically, that's exactly the reason that I wanted this person to come on, Momoshiki the janitor, who has 44 subscribers and like 5 videos. Shout out to them. But his video, Boruto, the Will of Fire, and what it means for the time skip. This is an actual analytical video that respects the viewer's time and is significant content. Like any what if video or theory video or Mello's video that I'm giving recommended here, Sarada's Mangekyo is already god tier, the Shinjutsu featuring all these other people, hashtag Naruto, hashtag anime, hashtag Boruto. He's not making that out of passion, he's making that because he wants 4.4k plus views.
Yeah.
But this guy, Boruto, the Will of Fire, and what it means for the time skip, this is a video that is worth watching.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, it's not as hot of a topic as Sarada's Mangekyo or something.
I'm gonna link this in the general chat and say, everyone,
like, that sounds like a good topic for anyone who's invested in the story, but like for like the average fan that just wants to see the hype thing, that's where like stuff like that comes into play. But I mean, that's just how it goes. Like, not everyone cares about the symbolisms of the story. Just care about what's hype. But
yeah, honestly, I'm probably like too hardcore leaning into one side of this instead of looking at both sides, and that's kind of hard for you considering you are more of a like successful business channel kind of at this point, and like you probably would do YouTube for a job and all this. But yeah, I don't know.
I would like I don't think, I mean, it depends. If I was making like $1 million a year, okay, I would only do YouTube.
Yeah.
But I personally want to keep it. I kind of changed my mind and I think as a side job, like I would still do other work because I don't want to become the daily video channel.
Same.
I can't come up with in-depth, well thought out videos every single day. Like my videos would start to suck in my mind if I was trying to rush the videos. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want all the videos to be well thought out. And if I don't have a well thought out idea, I'm just not going to put out a video until I do. That's why, like, I like the group channel thing I'm doing with Bara, Mello, and Meek and stuff, but overdoing the deadline stuff like does annoy me because it's just like I can only like I'm tired. Like at the end of the day, I'm tired. I work and I do YouTube and I do podcasts, and with you in this case, it's been on like what 8 hours or some shit. Like in total, and it's just like, and I work out really hard on top of that, and it's just like I get to a point where I just like, and I'm trying to respond to like thousands of comments. It's just like at some point I'm just so tired. I look at the screen and I like can think ideas in my head, but the moment I start writing them down, I just like zone out and I just can't like continue to write them, and it takes me a while because of that. That's something that just kind of started happening at a certain point. Probably ever since I graduated college and started working instead of half-assing school. But it's just like I'm tired and I just can't think properly to like just spam videos.
Yeah. By the way, I did the math. It's been 8.5 hours to the minute.
Yeah, so much for going to bed early. I gotta decide if I'm just gonna not sleep a ton again and work out, which is probably what I'm gonna do because I really want to work out before work. The other option would be to take the day off and just sleep in, but
I mean, you can work out after work, right?
No, dude, my gym's closed.
I'm
I'm not working out at like midnight anyway.
Yeah.
So,
but you do need sleep because muscle growth, sleep, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't sleep much like the last 2 weeks until like yesterday or the day before, where I finally got back on track. One of the days I was up so late I was waiting for the guy who was editing the video to send me what he had so that I could do my additions and corrections. And I also had to weave in the sponsorship thing. I was up so late, and then I had a copyright claim, and I was like, oh my fucking god, dude. I at least spent 3 hours that day going into work because I was like, I gotta finish this shit. Like I already asked them, like, hey, can we push back the posting date for this because I wasn't gonna be ready, and they said yes, and I was like, all right, I can't just keep asking. I'm like, I want my bag on this money. Like, if I keep pushing it back, I'm not gonna get this, and it's gonna have been a waste of time. So I did not sleep that night. I'm gonna try to see if I can fall asleep by 5 a.m. and then I'm just gonna, I guess I'll wake up at noon and rush my ass to do everything.
Yeah, I still need to charge my phone so that I'd have my phone for work tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Let's see. I also haven't eaten.
I like how we turned our outro into probably a solid hour.
Oh, yeah. I did.
We're still outroing, by the way.
I did want it to be intro, outro, but now I guess it is from intro to like YouTube comments to Roberto Blake to Naruto to outro. But I don't know. I don't want to do that because I want intro, outro. I don't know.
Also, I just noticed. I don't know if this is still relevant. Let's find out. It says for watching now. So assuming you and I are two of them, who else is watching? Dux, are you there?
I think Dux is actually there because he is on his phone, interestingly enough.
Dux, if you're there, type something in caps lock in the live chat. So is Camp? Well, Camp probably went to bed, so I don't think it's.
Maybe
I wonder
Trippy
who it is.
just left it up. Would make sense.
Well, if Trippy.
Well, oh no, because it's a new
Oh,
stream
it dropped the
anyways.
3. Somebody left. Was it Ducks?
Oh gosh. Well, I guess that'll do work. Oh yeah, we'll get to questions for the podcast and hashtag art next time as well, because we're not doing that now. And all these other topics that we didn't get to that are ridiculous.
Yeah. This would have to turn into a 24-hour podcast at that point.
Oh goodness, yes.
One
All
day
of these
we
are
could do this.
Kind of the same topic, anyways. Besides this, I'm gonna delete this as well. But yeah, this is gonna be a
Are we
good
ever
like,
gonna do
hour.
a 24-hour podcast?
I don't want to ever do a 24-hour long anything.
I don't
if I'm
either,
being
because I want to
honest.
sleep at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Like I cannot do that. It's ridiculous.
I think 12 hours would be the cap if we had the time to actually do it.
Yeah.
Knowing how we're always running late, though, I don't see that one being likely. This was a rare situation where we just decided to not stop.
Well, listen, it's also not only are we covering Chapter 80 spoilers, which dropped an hour after we stopped streaming last week. And it's been like 2 weeks since we've streamed. That's 2. 3, we're covering Chapter 80 itself. 4, we're covering the future, because the potential time skip. 5, hiatus. A lot happened. What can I say?
Yeah, we covered a lot of topics. This definitely was several podcasts in one.
Oh, this is gonna suck to do the timestamps for.
Oh my god, dude.
I will say, we basically, like, unironically, genuinely did do 2 podcasts this time instead of it being broken up and we saying we did. Because these are podcasts length. This one is 3 hours and 10 minutes. The other one is however long, 5 hours.
Yeah, one will be 5 hours, one will be 3. One's with Trippy, one is not. Like, yeah, we literally just made up podcasts. I made up that podcast I missed when I couldn't talk.
I just realized me and you have been going quite literally twice as long on this stream as the duration of time that Trippy was here. Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
Man, remember when I said we were just gonna end it there and you said no, let's do it, and I was like, alright, a 20-minute outro, let's go. And then 3 hours later.
I know, dude. I was not expecting this. Oh my god, yeah, we ended it there, dude. I would have gone an extra 4 hours of sleep.
Oh.
Alright, well, I think now is a good time to wrap it up. Hopefully this one gets some views from the massive watch time that could potentially happen.
Oh yeah, I'll just like leave it on overnight on my other accounts all week, and I'll just get like 30 hours of watch time just from
Watch it
that.
at 1/4 time speed so that it really drags the watch time.
Yes. Oh, we also
I
have
was
5
wondering if
viewers
that
now,
worked.
so perfect for an outro.
If like 5 people watch it at 1/4 time speed, will it like drastically like up
It
your watch
genuinely
time?
does. Yes, it actually does. So if you... Oh, you don't have a different account, do you?
Yeah, I have more than one account. I have my
okay.
like the one under my name and then Kamui.
We could genuinely test it out. Like, if we genuinely left it up overnight on a different account at like 0.25 times speed, so it just goes on for literally 20 hours. So I mean, you probably want to use your hours sometime over the next 20 hours.
No, but I mean, this is an 8, or I guess there's 2 4-hour streams. I was gonna say it was an 8-hour stream at 1/4 time speed, would literally go on for over a day.
Oh my gosh. Well, who knows? Maybe we can sponsor this one somehow. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll have Kawaki's voice actor on next week, and he'll say to watch this week's episode. There we go.
Yeah, he can make a Twitter post. He's probably getting a lot of followers.
I can probably check literally now, so it doesn't take a lot of time. He
can
has
say that
2,000
going to
followers.
voice
no,
act
he's
Kawaki
following
on
that.
this stream.
he's
If you want to hear his voice acting live, you have to watch this podcast.
Yeah. Well, he has 5,000 followers for the record.
Well, that's 4,700, or in 69 or 71 more than us.
Oh god.
So,
He also did a different podcast with someone else. Probably shouldn't be shouting out other people's podcasts when ours is not doing very well comparatively. But yeah, go check out
what are you
his
talking
thing.
about, dude?
That's
Quality over quantity.
That's true. Well, to be fair, we have a lot of quantity as well. I guess, no, that says how much quality we have. We have so much quantity, but we have even more quality. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, this 8-hour stream has 16 hours of quality. And nobody else can do that.
That's why you should watch it at 1/4 time speed, so you can really absorb the quality.
Really sinking in. You're gonna really observe the sounds.
Well, that's been an outro and a half. So
Yeah, I'm getting tired of talking for
Let's-
once in my
let's
life.
skedaddle for real at 4:30
Yeah,
a.m.
my headphones died like an hour ago.
You know what? So that's Roger Dodger and over.